2 seconds. Just waiting for the ads to finish at my end. Hope you're all good out there. See if we can match last week's marathon. Let's see. Yeah, I think you'll find I'm live. I'm happening. I'm ready to go. Nearly there. Here we go. We're live. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Wherever you are in the world, welcome to Brooks's Base Corner live chat number 27. 27 of these. Not quite sure where 27 episodes of this live chat have gone, but there we go. I hope you're all safe and well out there. It's Tuesday, it's 7 o'clock here in the UK. Wherever you are in the world, I guess what we're looking at 2 p.m. in the afternoon on the East Coast in America, 11 a.m. I would imagine on the West Coast Pacific time. But I hope you're all safe and well out there. Welcome to Brooks's Base Corner. I'm Mike Brooks. As I said, live chat number 27. We're doing this every Tuesday up until about the 6th of December. And then everyone kind of gets a bit busy in December. And we'll give the live chats a bit of a rest. Although we may do some impromptu sound check gig live chats. I've done a couple of those. In the past couple of weeks. There could well be some more because December's looking exceptionally busy, so there might be some. Whether they fall on Tuesday nights or not, that's another thing entirely, but we'll see. Thank you to all those who attended last week's live chat. We did the Andy Taylor special, and we were talking for about 3 hours and 20 minutes all told. It was a bit of a marathon, but it was very good. Really enjoyed it. Couple of weeks ago, as we were coming towards the end of a live chat, so I think it was 2 weeks ago, we started talking about level 42 and Mark King, and we were talking about gigs and gear and songs and albums and Mark's playing and the instruments he's got and the things he had and all of that. So if anyone out there wants to get stuck into some level 42 tonight, feel free. If you've never attended a live chat before, whether here on my channel or other channels out there, if you're on the mobile app, there is a live chat window below this video. In there, you can put comments, questions, anything you want to talk about. That's what live chats are all about. It's a two-way process. So you can either sit and listen to me gab on for the best part of an hour or more, or you can get involved, put your comments in, put your questions in. If you're looking for any bass advice, anything to do with guitars, amplifiers, speakers, effects pedals, accessories, anything, if you've got some gear and it's not working, let me know. I might well be able to help. I've got 35 years playing experience, been playing since 1987. I've been a professional bass player since, oh my goodness, June 1995. I've done over 4,000 gigs. So chances are, if you've got a problem with some gear, I might well have had that problem in the past. I might well know how to solve it. So if you've got any questions about gear, effects, amplifiers, accessories, gig bags, pedal boards, you want to know how to chain your pedals together and do it in the best sort of series of pedals, ask me. I might be able to help. We had a guy on a couple of weeks ago called Texas Iguana. We managed to sort his pedal board out and gave him a few ideas on things he might want to get further down the line. He asked me, what should the next 2, 3, 4, 5 pedals be that I buy? I gave him some examples, some things to consider. I don't know if he's bought any of them yet because he hasn't come back on the live chat, but there we go. That's what we're here for. And it's not just me. There's a whole variety of bass players watching this, tuning in. I can see the viewing numbers going up. And past couple of weeks, we've had some really good numbers. So lots of bass players out there. Some are friends of mine. Some are guys I work with and for. Sometimes I might be a debt for them. I might put them forward for debt gigs. Those guys all come in and contribute from time to time. So, you know, if you've got a problem with some gear, or you know, Christmas is coming, you might be thinking, I want a new bass, or I want a new amp, or some effects, or some bits and pieces. Or my parents want to buy me some bass gifts, what should I ask them for? Your partner might be saying, well, what do you want in your Christmas stocking? That could get a bit rude, but in terms of presents, you might be thinking, well, I could do with an Ernie Ball musician's toolkit, or you might be looking at an Electro Harmonics bass monosynth, or up here, I'm not sure if the camera will show it, might not, it might just be out off screen. We've got the Dunlop 65, System 65 guitar maintenance kit. None of these things break the bank particularly. If you're looking for some ideas, ask me. I might be able to help. I've got a series of shorts coming up, YouTube shorts coming up through the end of November into December. Going to do a daily video of great bass gifts for bass players. So if you want to tune into that, you might be watching this at a later date rather than right now. Those will be going live on the YouTube Shorts platform. Might just give you some ideas. You might want to share the video and send it to your partner or your friends or your family. And so I could really do with one of these. And if you want to do that, feel free. But those will be going up over the next couple of weeks, so keep your eyes peeled. For those who followed the channel previously, there is a video going back to 2020, which is called the Xmas Gift Guide for Bass Players. Again, similar kind of thing. We look at, I think, about 15 different sort of products and product areas. So strings, straps, there's a couple of pedals in there, fret wraps, guitar maintenance stuff, tools, leads, a whole load of stuff. That video's here already on the channel. So anything I refer to that I've already produced content about, or videos I might talk about, or playlists, or series of videos, everything goes in the description box below this video. So whether you're on the mobile app or the desktop app, it all goes in the description box. I said for the guys and girls on the mobile app, if you want to put anything in the live chat, it's below this window on the mobile app. If you're on desktop, I've got a laptop here. The live chat window is on that side. So where you're watching this video, it's that big white pane with some comments in there. So there's a section there that says say something. You put your comment in there, press return, it comes through to me, then I can respond to it. If you've never done live chats before, or even if you have, at the bottom of the live chat window, you'll see there's an emoji icon. So you can click on that and add emojis to the chat. Feel free to do that as you wish. There's also a dollar symbol. The dollar symbol is called Super Chat. That allows you to make financial contributions to the channel, which allows me to buy items for review. It allows me to buy pedals and accessories that I can do features on here on the channel. It allows me to buy the equipment to film, record, lighting, sound, microphones, everything that's required to keep this channel going. Your donations and contributions is what makes that happen. So thank you anyone who's donated in the past. But also, aside from live chat contributions, all the videos on my channel have a feature called Super Thanks. So underneath the video, you'll see a series of icons. So you'll see a thumbs up, a thumbs down, a save, share, remix. Oh no, actually you probably won't see that. That's what I see as a creator. You'll also see a love heart with a dollar symbol in. That's similar to the super chat that we have here on the live chat, but that's called Super Thanks. So if you enjoy a particular video, or you enjoy the content that a particular content creator provides, you might want to say thank you, or it might be for a particular video. There might be something either here on my channel or videos in the future, or you might be looking at someone else's channel, and their video might just solve a problem that you're experiencing. Or for example, in day-to-day life, you might have your boiler might go wrong. It suddenly presents an error code. You might not have a clue what that error code is. Chances are there's a video on YouTube that'll tell you what all those boiler error codes are. It happened to me, and our builder literally went on YouTube, found the error codes, we knew what the problem was. In a bass context, you might be looking at this Kubicki Factor over my shoulder. Some people have a real problem restringing these until they've done it once, and then it becomes second nature. But if you were looking for a video on how to restring a Kubicki, you might find one on YouTube. I know there are plenty. There will be one on this channel soon. And that video might just help you out of a sticky situation. How do I do this? I don't know how to do it. You might want to say thanks. So that's what the super thanks icon is all about. Okay, housekeeping all done. So what we've been doing here on the channel, well, anyone who's been watching the live chats of late, you'll know I'm really pushing my shorts content, because YouTube are going to be seriously promoting shorts in the new year, January and February. That's not to say long form content is stopping. It certainly isn't. I've got a whole bundle of it waiting to go. I've just been waiting for some time to be able to promote it properly and edit it properly and do it all as it needs to be done. So that's all coming. Shorts are daily. We've got the live chats every Tuesday for another couple of weeks. There's also some interviews coming up. It now looks like those interviews are probably going to get pushed to after Christmas. I intimated a couple of weeks ago, we've got a couple of bass legends that are going to be interviewed. I was worried that their diaries were going to get busy and weren't going to get those interviews in before Christmas. Well, that now looks like it's a reality. So that'll probably be happening after Christmas, unless they suddenly tell me, I've got a free couple of hours. Do you want to do that interview now? We've got new Essential Bass albums videos coming up, hopefully in December. I've been finishing the scripts off, getting the layout sorted out, so there should be some more of those. If you don't know what the hell I'm talking about, I'll put a link to the previous series. There's 23 videos looking at a whole range of albums that I think are essential bass albums. So if you're a bass player, I think if you haven't heard these albums, you'd be doing yourself a favor if you did. So that's me talking about those albums, about the bass players on there, the equipment they used, the videos, the singles, how the album performed, going into each track, talking about the bass lines. You might find some of that quite interesting. I'll put a link to the playlist below in the description box, and you can take it from there. So that's kind of what's coming up. Lots of bass reviews, pedal reviews, some accessory reviews, shorts every day, more interviews, and we carry on with the bass string experiment, which now is up to gig 17. Although if you're watching, or you have been watching the series, we're only up to 11 on the videos here on the channel, but we've done up to gig 17, all filmed, all edited, ready to go. So those could well start appearing this week. I thought they were going to appear last week, but things kind of overtook me with prepping for gigs that I had last weekend. So, and we did, what did I do last week? Uncle Funk's Disco Inferno in Whittam in Essex. That was on Friday. And then I had Definitely Might Be, an Oasis tribute. We were at the O2 Academy in Oxford on Saturday, and we took the roof off that place, I can assure you. I wish I'd got some video footage, because it seriously went off, but I don't have any. And I was waiting to find some online, and at the moment I can't find any, but there are plenty of people filming, so not quite sure what's happened there. They just haven't uploaded their content. Now, I saw someone. Beat After Beat. Welcome, sir. Or young lady. I don't know if you're male or female. Thumbs up, peeps. Welcome. You are more than welcome here. Feel free to join in the live chat, contribute as you wish. What did I need to tell you guys? Done the shorts, done the long form content. I think we're up to date on all the news. Mail, Beat After Beat, welcome. Nice level 42 t-shirt, thank you very much. 2003 vintage, I think, yes. Yeah, it's actually one of the I quite like this t-shirt. It sort of amalgamates all the album covers and into that familiar princess design. So thank you. I'm glad you're enjoying that. So yeah, we had a live chat 2 weeks ago. It was 2 weeks ago, yeah. And we were talking level 42. We were talking Mark King. We were talking a whole load of stuff actually 2 weeks ago. Last week was the Andy Taylor one, Duran. 2 weeks ago, the Mark King thing just came up towards the end of the conversation, and we were really rattling off the chat, and I could see the clock was ticking. I think we did over like 2.25 hours that week. So if any of you want to talk about level 42, Mark King, you want to talk about slap bass, maybe you don't want to talk about slap bass, you want to talk about any of Mark's gear that he's used over the years, want to talk about any of the basses, I've interviewed him a number of times. We talk occasionally on WhatsApp. Seen many a Level 42 show over the years, and yeah, and get on very well with him. We've had a lot of interaction through my work with Bass Guitar Magazine and Bass Player. So yeah, a very nice chap most of the time. And the guys just finished their small UK tour before next year's bigger tour. So if any of you have been to the shows that were last week, either at the O2, Northampton, I think Llandudno, Torquay, Northampton. If you want to talk about, Hastings as well. How could I forget Hastings? If you want to talk about any of those, if you went, let us know. What were they like? Seen plenty of videos. Sounded good. Sounded pretty good. I saw a lot of complaints about the set list, but it's going to be what it's going to be. Mark will build the set list how he wishes, and that's the way it is. So if you got any questions about bass guitars, bass amplifiers, bass speakers, you want to talk about strings, feel free. You want to talk about effects pedals, how to set up your pedal board. If you want to know the best way of linking up all your pedals in the right order to get the best tones and the best signal, feel free. That's what we're here for. If I can help, if I can offer any advice, if you've got gigs coming up, maybe you've got some auditions, maybe you've got your first Christmas tour coming up, because Christmas is just around the corner. You want to know how to get through December doing gigs. I've done a few of those. I think my record at the moment is 23 gigs in the whole month of December, including New Year's Eve. I don't think I've ever done more than 23, but that was a fair bit of graft that year. So if you want to know how to pace yourself and get through the whole month, if I can give you any advice, I'd be more than happy to. If you are watching this video after the event, so obviously then it's not a live chat, it's more like a podcast. Don't worry about the fact the live chat window is then shut to you. You can still comment and interact and get involved via the comments, which is below. So feel free to put a comment in there at any point, and I will come back to you when I see it. So I'm just turning on the messages on the camera. I've got it here on the laptop, so I shouldn't miss anything. Once again, I'll just say for anyone coming in late, because I can see the numbers are going up, on the live chat window, which if you're on desktop is there, and if you're on the mobile app is below here. Feel free to subscribe to the channel, give the video a like, a thumbs up. If you want to hit the notification bell, so you get notifications, not just for live chats, it could be for other videos and content here on the channel. Feel free, it's very much appreciated. And in fact, subscriber numbers, and I keep saying this week on week, but I have to say it, are on the up. Everything is going up. My analytics are showing everything in green and moving upwards. So guys, all I can say is thank you. I really appreciate the interaction, all the subscribers, the comments. Comments make a big deal to the YouTube algorithm, so thank you for that. All of the thumbs ups, even negative comments. If it's something in a video you don't like or you don't agree with that I've mentioned or talked about, feel free to comment. I'll come back to you, it's no problem. But it's all good for the YouTube algorithm. It wants to see that people are enjoying the content, so that's what we do. George Iliadis, good evening, sir. How are you? Love the Factor. I bought one factory direct. Well, you're a very lucky man, and that'll be worth a few bob now. So this here is August '88, which I believe to be a factory Phil Kubicki handmade one. I had what I thought were the serial number and dates for the licensed Fender models. Sorry, I'm kind of going off camera here. And I thought the Fender license didn't start until '89. I saw a message not that long ago from Carla being Carla Kubicki, Phil's widow. And she was saying that Fender took on the license at some point midway through '88, which would make that a Fender, which would disappoint me slightly. I already have a Fender '89 model over there in the corner, which is a fretless. But yeah, George, you know, I know how great these things are. So well done, sir. Factory direct. I would ask for pictures, but I don't think you can post pictures in a live chat. So you need to tell me the color. clearly, or the finish. So I'll wait for you to do that. So obviously here we have a white one, classic factor. I've got a coral pink fender over there. And I know the coral pink ones aren't that common, because when I spoke to Phil Kubicki in 1992 via a Unix server before Windows at university, he said to me, coral pink ones are really rare. And I think at that point, as far as he had produced, he'd only done 3. So it could well be Fender produced a lot more in the coral pink colour. But that's what I've got. So good one, nice one. Glad you enjoy the factors. Hope you're playing it regularly. Don't leave them just sitting at home, please. These things need to be played. I've lost my thread. Typical. Okay, what was I saying? We were talking comments. That's right. So we were talking people who are watching the live chat after the event. So yeah, you can get involved. Comments. If you post up on any of my videos, I get a notification very quickly, and generally I reply quite quickly as well. So if there's anything here on the channel you want to talk about, or even after this live chat, if you go and watch any of the videos on the channel and you want to talk about anything that's in any of the videos, feel free, and I will converse with you via the video and the comments. It's cool. So anyone who's not attended a live chat before, either here on Brooks's Bass Corner or on other videos, other channels, it's a two-way street. I need you guys to interact, ask questions. You can chat, by all means chat. There's plenty of us on here. And generally what happens is, as we, where are we now? 20 past 7. Around about 20 to 8 o'clock, suddenly the numbers go up. This happens every week. I see the numbers, I see the progress. So I'm guessing when I start 7 o'clock, a lot of you have only just got in from work, having your dinner, maybe putting the kids to bed. I get it, it's fine. And then after 8 o'clock, we suddenly seem to get a flood of extra viewers, extra questions, comments. It's all good. So I'm expecting a few of the regulars to suddenly turn up in the chat window in about 20 minutes. So that'll all be good. So if you've not attended a live chat before, it is a two-way process. So we have a live chat window here. If you're on the mobile app, it's below this video. If you're watching on desktop, it's that way. Yep. And you put your comments in, put your questions in. If you've got bass trouble, you've got a problem with your amp, a problem with effects, you're thinking about presents for Christmas, you think you need some bits and bobs, maybe accessories, maintenance stuff, you don't know what to go for, or you don't even know what you need to make your bass look lovely and play well and what have you, ask me. I might be able to help. I've got 35 years playing experience. I've got 27 as a professional working musician. I've done 4,000 gigs. Chances are I might well have encountered the problem you've got. And if I can help, I'm more than willing to sort of give advice. And if I can talk you through setting something up or fixing a problem with your bass, that's what I'm here for. George, I'd love to send pics, wouldn't know where to start. Yeah, I don't think you can do it in the live chat, sadly. Purchased in 2021, very cool, from Carla, great, from Kubicki, direct, could be Carla Kubicki. It is, it's she remarried, I think, I could be wrong. White in colour, fabulous. Melbourne, Australia. Do you know what, I think I might have seen some of your comments on various Facebook groups, Kubicki Facebook groups, obviously. If that's you, welcome, sir. A man of great taste, clearly. Melbourne, well, yeah. Been 16 years since I was there. I was there with Bonnie Tyler. I did a couple of shows down there with her in Melbourne. We had a great week there. Love Melbourne. Oh, yeah, wouldn't mind coming back at some point. I'm sure I'll try and fit that in some point in my life. But yeah, we had a great week down there. We did 2 shows at the Crown Plaza Casino, as it was then. Jimmy Barnes was on the same week. I think he did Wednesday and Thursday, and we did Friday and Saturday. If you want to see what I did with Bonnie Tyler in Australia, there are videos here on the channel. If you go to the playlists, there's a section that says live appearances, and I think there's about 5 videos, so all the hits. So Total Eclipse of the Heart, Holding Out for a Hero, Faster Than the Speed of Night. Trying to think. There's another two. To Love Somebody, which is a cover of the old Bee Gees song. What's the other? Hide Your Heart. I think there's one more. Could be wrong. Anyway, they're on there. Feel free to watch. I'm on a copyright split, so I don't get very much for those views. But anyway, it's nice to have the record. I was very lucky, actually. I got 2 whole DVDs of both shows, basically of the video that was being shown on the screens either side of the stage. So they were filming it, and that was being shown on the screens, and they took a direct feed off to a DVD burner, and we all got DVDs of it, which is great. Very nice record to have, I have to say. But yeah, Melbourne, eh? Woo! We had a good week that week, I have to say. I remember having had some Chinese something or other in the restaurant. David Sutkin, good evening, sir. Welcome. Nice to see you. Good to see you. You've been a very busy boy. I had something to eat in the Crown Plaza at the Chinese restaurant there, and the heat of it literally took the skin off my lips. I looked a right state by the weekend, but that's another story. Good evening. Good evening. Well done, David. Lovely to see you. Sweet Kabiki. Well, yeah, I just got a plain, boring white one. You've got some fabulous examples in your collection. And have you managed to track down a white Padula yet? I know you've been looking. It's one of those tasks, isn't it? You're going to start looking for that elusive base, and then it will just turn up. Happens all the time. Oh, it's on the way. You found one. Oh, if I had a bottle of champers, I'd toast you. I haven't. I've just got apple and blackcurrant squash. Well done, sir. I'm pleased. I want pictures of that, clearly. Yeah, send me some pictures in Messenger. Look forward to seeing that. I do need to visit you there in Brooklyn. Do you know what? I'm trying to see if there's a possibility of maybe getting over there some point next year. I'm hoping the channel is going to kind of take off over the next couple of months. Although we're doing very well, I have no complaints there at all. But if I can just get things snowballing, I wouldn't mind coming over to New York and doing some filming. Go and see some of the luthiers, some of the guitar shops, and I could do the holiday. Can't you tell? Yeah, I've got some time in April and May. So maybe, if I know I'm coming, I will let you know, and we'll hook up. We should... while I've got you here on my live chat, here's a thing. Now, I know you were thinking of doing a Bass Up Front YouTube channel. I've just found out when you go into the YouTube app here on mobile, and you click on the plus symbol to go live for live chats, you can now do 2 people at a time. So if you want to do a live chat, or we do a Bass Up Front live chat, we can now have both on the same chat without having to have all the hardware and cameras and all. Yeah, the way it was really tricky, hardware intensive. Now it's not. We can do it with 2 mobile devices. So, mate, that would be awesome. Pick the date. Anytime. We should converse on Messenger and we'll sort something out. So if you want to do a Bass Up Front one, and then we can do one with you here on Brooks's Bass Corner, we can do that at some point. Let's do that, because we've been saying this for a couple of months. So yeah, and we can work for everyone then, can't we? That'd be great. Look forward to that. So there's an idea. Get that noted down, put it on a post-it, stick it to your monitor. Because I only found this out as I was getting ready to do this live chat. I clicked on the plus and suddenly there were like 5 options. Well, there's only normally 4. I thought, what's that? It's a go live duo. It's like, at last, we can do that. So it'd be great. So there. So you was talking a while ago about doing, or even doing a 2-play, playing at the same time. I don't know if that'll work, possibly because of the delay. but that would be, you'd need to do like a test video. And but that aside, we can do a dual chat and tap into bass up front. But I should explain, David Sutkin here that we're talking to runs Bass Up Front, a great Facebook bass page, possibly the best one out there. Run the best. There's no rubbish, there's no infighting. There's the rules, that's what we follow, and it's great, it's fabulous. Also on Instagram, I'm not sure if there's a website, there might be. Yeah, latency issues, yeah, we might have that. Some great merchandise as well. So if you haven't checked them out, Bass Up Front on Facebook and Instagram, well worth checking out. Styled by Stacey Ann from North Carolina. Oh, that'll be sweet, guys. Yes, that's what I was thinking. Literally, as I pressed plus to set the camera up for tonight, it suddenly had Go Live Duo. And I hadn't seen that. And it had like a little new banner next to it. So we will do that. In fact, that could be a thing for the next couple of live chats here on Brooks's Bass Corner. Might have to tap into some of the bass groups and we can do some collaboration. That's what it's called. If we're going to do that, David, you need to send me a t-shirt and I'll be happy to stick that on my carcass and we'll plug the site. How about that? RPM, yes, please do. Well, we talk on Messenger, so it's cool. We can do it all by that. Large for me, sir. Large. Not large as in stomach, just frame is large. So that'd be great. Thank you. Lovely. Any colour. Don't do tartan, though. I'm sure you don't have a tartan t-shirt, but yeah, any colour's cool. Happy to push the bass pages out there. No problem. Yeah, the t-shirt. You need to be getting one of those, Stacey. They're fabulous. And a lovely font as well. They look great. So that's all good. So here we are. Bass chat live chat, bass chat number 27 here on Brooks's Bass Corner. You're very welcome. Thank you for attending. If you've just sort of stumbled upon this live chat and the channel, you are very welcome. We're very friendly people here. We don't have any trouble. Anyone comes on the live chat and tries to get a bit narky, they go. So we don't tolerate any rubbish or nonsense. Thank you for attending. Tuesday night, 7 p.m. here, Brooks's Bass Corner. Live chats. We've got another 3 after this, running up till December the 6th, I think. I think December the 6th is the last one because the week after I've got ABBA gigs, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday through, which are Christmas theatre shows. So, and then we take a little break for Christmas, although, as I said at the start of the live chat, we might do some impromptu gig and sound check live chats, depending on what the Wi-Fi coverage is like. And while I've got you lovely people out there, I should apologise. Anyone that tuned into the live chat on the 4th of November, when I was doing a sound check for a Queen tribute in Lincoln, I watched that video back last week, so I was doing a list of all the timestamps and the links that I needed to put in there. It was like watching a game of Minecraft. It was horrendous. It was like Lego. I didn't know that at the time because the image I'm seeing on the camera as I'm doing it is all great. But because of the Wi-Fi signal, it couldn't keep up. And it was horrendous. It's like, look at my legs look like or my arm looked like a flight of stairs. It was like playing something on a Commodore 64. It's like everything went down like that. Really not good. I look like Mr. Squarehead, which is never a particularly good look. And yeah, so anyone that watched that or hasn't watched it and wants to go and check it out, the audio is fabulous. We have a rip-roaring live chat, but the visual was sadly lacking, I'm afraid. So I'll apologise now for anyone that's watched that or was watching at the time and thought, what the hell is he playing at? I had no control over that. It was the Wi-Fi in the building. So that's my excuse. So yes, here we are, live chat number 27. If you're new to the channel, new to live chats, feel free to subscribe to the channel. Those are always welcome. Give the video a thumbs up. That would be very much appreciated because it all helps with the YouTube algorithm in pushing the channel forwards. If you hit the notification bell, you get 3 options. So you can either have no notifications whatsoever, which is entirely up to you. You can have personal settings, so you can select which things you get notified on. And then there's everything. So whenever I post up a community post via the community tab, which is YouTube's version of social media, or whenever I post up a video, or we're doing a live chat, or podcasts, or YouTube shorts, you'll get all of it. So it's entirely up to you. One thing I will say, and I've said this the past couple of weeks on the live chats, if I'm posting too much for you and the notifications overwhelm you a bit, feel free to set them to none so you don't get any. I'd much rather you do that than unsubscribe. Any creator, we see subscriber numbers go up and that's great. When you suddenly see a drop or people drop off, it can be because someone's closing their YouTube channel down or their account down, or they might have been issued copyright strikes, so their channel has been taken offline. But if, and I know this happens, if you just get really infuriated with the amount of notifications, please don't unsubscribe. Just turn the notifications off, because it is really disheartening when you've suddenly produced a load of content that you think's really good, whether it's good or not, and then suddenly people start dropping off, and some days you might lose 5, 6, 7 subscribers. We don't know why. We get no explanation, and when you leave, YouTube doesn't ask you why are you leaving. We just see the numbers drop, and it's really disheartening. It's you think, well, what did I do to cause that? I don't know. No one tells you. So yeah, if you find the notifications just a bit too much, you can send me a message by all means via the community tab, or you can do it via the social media. So we're on Instagram, Facebook and Twitter. But the community tab, lots of you guys out there in YouTube land have no idea what the community tab is. So if you go onto the front page of the channel, you'll see a load of tabs along the top. I say tabs, they're just words, they're not put into tabs. And you'll see videos, I think it's now videos, shorts, live, playlists. And then there's one, it might not be there on your device, you might not see it. You scroll along the tabs and you'll see one that says community. I try to post every day, or at least every other day. That's basically social media on YouTube. So you can converse via those messages just as you can on Instagram, Facebook or Twitter. So feel free to sort of get involved in those. Sometimes I put up polls. So it might be a text poll, might be a picture poll. I had a poll up here on the live chat last week when we were doing the Andy Taylor episode. I can't see anything's updated on the live chat, so that's cool. But if you've got any questions about basses, bass guitars, bass amplifiers, bass speakers, bass pedals, more amps, accessories, wireless systems, effects units, that's a Behringer rack mount light at the top. I'm trying to put my finger up, there we go. So if you've got any questions about anything to do with bass, put it in the live chat window. If you're on the mobile app, it's below this screen, this video. If you're on the desktop app, it's that way. As soon as I see the messages come up, I'll respond to them as quick as I can. I can breathe. I'll have a quick drink as well. So Dave, while I've got you, if you're there, I presume you're at work or you've got a day off. I have the bass collection to my right here. Is there anything you want to see? So on bass up front, we have, I'm trying to think now. We have Bass Porn Monday. I'm trying to think what the other days are. You're going to have to remind me. But we do also, so we have like live photos on, I think it was yet today, maybe. Live shots. It's different photos every day. It gets everyone involved. We get to see all the gear, which is what we love. Get to see everyone doing some gigs, some videos and stuff. So it's all cool. You'll have to remind me, David. I can't remember. I can't remember. It's different things every day, but it's great. The Bass Up Front page is a growing community. I think you've just hit 10,000, haven't you? Because I know I invited a load of bass playing friends. It was middle of last week. So hopefully some more followed and liked and did all of that. So yeah. So I'm trying to think, what do we need to tell you? So if you've never done a live chat before, You can contribute to the channel. So running the YouTube channel, there are various costs. For example, buying equipment, buying gear, stuff that's going to be reviewed, demoed. None of it comes in here for free. I have to go and buy it. So if you want to help and financially contribute to that, or the equipment that allows me to do the videos, lighting, sound equipment, microphones, editing, bits and pieces, apps that we have to buy to be able to do all this, studio time for doing videos. I've got some really good projects that I'd like to do here on the channel. I'm going to have to hire a studio to do it. So if you want to help financially contribute to the channel, you can do it in a number of ways. The easiest and quickest two ways, while we're here on a live chat, in the live chat window, you see an emoji icon. So you can add those to the live chat. Feel free to do that. But next to it, there's a dollar symbol. That's called Super Chat. Click on that. You can financially contribute to the channel. Alternatively, every video here on Brooks's Bass Corner is monetized. And underneath each video, you'll see a series of icons. You've got thumbs up, thumbs down, share, save, watch later. There's a love heart with a dollar symbol in. That's called Super Thanks. Exactly the same as like Super Chat. That allows you, click on Super Thanks and you can contribute to the channel. You might really like a particular video, or you might just like all the content that the creator provides. If you want to show that you appreciate what they're doing, hit that Super Thanks button and you contribute. And it's as simple as that. So there we go. I am not seeing a lot of throughput here on the live chat window, but I know it will happen in a torrent once we kind of get towards 8 o'clock, because that's what's happened the past couple of weeks. So I'm expecting a bunch of bass luminaries here in the UK to suddenly appear. It'll happen. It'll happen. But so yeah, if you've got anything you'd like to ask about basses, anything you'd like to ask about stuff that's already here on the channel. So maybe you've seen some of the interviews with people like Mark King, Billy Sheehan, Nathan East, Lee Sklar, Larry Graham, Chris Squire, Doug Wimbish, Neil Fairclough, who plays for Queen and Adam Lambert, Chris Childs. I'm trying to think who else we got. Marcus Miller. I'm hitting a brick wall here. Glenn Hughes. Glenn Hughes is on here. Bagiti Kamalu, Paul Simon's bass player, the guy that did the bulk of the playing on Graceland, the Graceland album. I'm trying to think who else is on the interviews. I think that's probably about it actually at the moment. It's about 3 or 4 Billy Sheehan's. There's 2 Nathan Easts, and I think there's two Mark King interviews. So if you've watched any of those videos and you'd like to ask anything, maybe you heard something on those interviews and you thought, I wonder what was going down there, because they're audio interviews, they're not video, so you can't see what was going on. I've got quite a good memory generally, and I can remember those Mark King chats quite vividly. So yeah. So if you're a Level 42 fan or a Mark King fan, you'd like to know exactly what was happening while we did those interviews, feel free. Same with the Billy Sheehan interviews. And the Larry Graham interview, that was meant to be 30 minutes tops. It turned into almost 3 hours. And that was a good day. That was a good day. And the Nathan East interviews, you know, first interview, we'd never met. Got on like a house on fire. Did the interview over dinner, courtesy of Yamaha and TC Electronic. And second interview was at his hotel here in London. And it was like meeting an old friend. And we had, I think, about an hour and 20 minutes. Again, it was only meant to be a 30-minute interview. And we managed to cram in about an hour and 20. And we just chewed the fat, seriously. But it's all good. And I've been very lucky to have had those experiences, to be honest, afforded me via Bass Guitar Magazine and Bass Player. You know, you never dream as a 16-year-old you're going to get to meet a lot of your heroes and sit there and just talk to them. And generally, they've been great people. The 1 or 2 I probably wouldn't want to repeat. But no, generally in the main, all the interviews I did for the magazines were great, really good fun. One or two were a little tetchy, I think would be a good description. But yeah, there's probably two that come to mind very quickly that I wouldn't want to repeat again. But such is life. They can't all be wonderful. But yeah, and actually there's quite a vault of old interview material, audio recordings that I've got, and I think well, I was hoping to get some up before Christmas, but I think what we're going to look at is once Christmas is out of the way, it's going to be a bit madcap with all the gigs. I'm going to use January and February, which are notoriously quiet anyway, to go through that vault and get some more interviews up. I get constant feedback on those videos. So yeah, if there's any interviews that you've read of mine previously in either Bass Guitar Magazine or Bass Player, and you'd either like to know something about it, or you'd just like to hear the actual audio, let me know. Stacey, hey, knowing Toto is headed your way in February 2023. Did I read Huey Lewis and the News bassist John Pierce is part of this lineup? Yes, you did, and you got that right. John Pierce is one of the legendary LA session players through kind of late 70s, through the 80s and the 90s. He went to school with Steve Lukather, so it's no surprise to me that he's now part of Toto. As I understand it, Lukather tried to get him in the band previously. So since Mike Porcaro fell ill, obviously passed away. But John was clearly tied up with Huey Lewis at the time. Now Huey Lewis has his ear illness, so he can't play or sing. Clearly Huey Lewis and the News aren't a gigging concern, so John Pierce is now in Toto. I'm very happy with that news. I think he's an outstanding player. Followed his career for quite a few decades, you know. I think he was the original bass player for Rich Marx Live, because he played on a couple of the early albums in the studio. And I think he was the guy that used to have like the long blue coat and the long white blonde hair. I'm sure that's him. I mean, he hasn't got long white blonde hair anymore. But none of us are getting any younger, so who am I to talk? But John Pierce, an exceptional bass player, and perfectly suited to Toto, I can assure you. Yes, he is. So I think you need to get those tickets, Stacey, with Toto coming through your town very shortly. How lucky you are. We're waiting for them to come over here, but I think they're coming with Journey, and I don't want to see the Journey show. So I'd rather just see Toto than get about 40 minutes of them as a support act. Yeah, get those tickets. I think they go on sale on Friday, don't they? Thursday, Friday? Yeah. So make sure you get them. As I've said to you before, these bands aren't going to be around forever. So when they come your way, go and see them. As long as they're still good and doing a good show. You don't want to go and see them with a load of old rubbish. But thankfully, I can say Toto are still doing the business. So yeah, so there we are. So here we are. It's 7:50. We can go in 50 minutes here on Brooks's Bass Corner. It's live chat number 27. I don't know where 27 live chats have gone, but they're all there in the live section of the videos here on the channel. So if you've missed any, there's 27 there. That's a lot of listening and watching, but if you find yourself on a very long drive or a flight, or perhaps you're driving home from gigs and it's a bit of a cruise, feel free to use those as live chats. I'll try my best to keep you awake, but you know, I can't always guarantee that the conversation is that riveting. But there are 20, well, once this one's finished, there will be 27. There's currently 26. The record is held by last week's live chat, which was kind of focused on Andy Taylor from Duran Duran. We managed to cram in 3 hours and 20 minutes. Even I was surprised. The dog went to bed. He gave up. He was gone. But we did 3 hours and 20 minutes on last week's live chat, which was quite incredible. But we had a good natter. And before that, we had a couple of live chats, again, impromptu live chats at gigs. And one of those, I think, racked up 2 hours and 20. And the week before that, the Tuesday live chat, I think that was over 2 hours. So we're kind of getting into the 2 hour territory now. So thank you very much for sort of coming on that journey with us. It's and you never know, I never know what you guys are going to want to talk about. So that, you know, that's the joy of it. When I've tried to do themed ones before, invariably we go off in different tangents. It's like looking at a family tree, you know, it all sort of sprouts out. So if you've got any questions about basses, bass gear, bass effects, bass accessories, you want to talk about any bands, bass playing legends, bass gods, this is the live chat to do it. Stick it in the live chat window. As soon as I see a response, I'll respond to it. So yeah, so the channel's all going up at the moment. Everything in my analytics is green and heading skyward. So thank you to everyone for all the subscribe button pushes, the likes, the comments, the super chat payments that we've had over the past couple of weeks. It's all really appreciated. I know I bang on about this, but it really is, because without you guys, I'm just producing content. If you guys don't watch it or get involved in it, kind of there's no point. So I kind of rely on my community and my audience, and I thank you very much for it. That's I really do appreciate everything you guys contribute from your side. So, you know, big up to you. Thank you. Yes, the live chats here going to continue for, I think we've got another 3, so 28, 29 and 30. That takes up the first week in December. Then we're going to take a bit of a break over Christmas because everyone gets really busy. I don't expect you to give up an hour or more of your time on a Tuesday evening listening to me prattle on. But there will be, hopefully, based on the Wi-Fi that I have at various venues and gigs, some impromptu live chats. So we could be doing this on stage, sound check, setting gear up, doing a live chat. We did one the other week up in Lincoln. It's here on the channel if you want to check it out. The visuals aren't that hot because the Wi-Fi was pretty dreadful, but I didn't know that at the time. Yeah, so it can get quite what's the word, active would be a good word here on our live chat window when we do those. And the Queen one was great because we've had many live chats here where we've talked about, you know, gig setups and what rig should you take and what basses do you use for this and what pedals have you got. And it's all well and good talking about it here in my office, but when we're actually out on a stage and I've got a rig there, I've got pedals, all the gear's ready to go, it takes on a different kind of entity really. And it was lovely because doing the Queen stuff, suddenly loads of you Queen fans out there love John Deacon as well. And I had a couple of guys say, what's your favourite line? And suddenly it was like, oh, a guy came on, he was going to be doing Hammer to Fall in a couple of weeks and he'd started learning it, but he wasn't sure he got it right. And I was able to show him. I could play it there on the video. Play it slowly, break it down. Here's the verse, here's the chorus, the bridge, middle 8 over the solo. There we go, broke it all down for him. And what can I say? And then I think we did, I think my friend Gary was asking what's your favourite line, and there's so many. Being a huge Queen fan, huge John Deacon fan, and he was saying, oh, I love You're My Best Friend. Well, there we go. Pick the bass up, plugged in, play through it. This is the benefit of being able to do a live chat in a live situation, all plugged in. This is how it sounds, you know. Stacy, the sound checks are a personal fave. Pedal board run through a bonus. Correct. And there'll be, I think, well, I've had an idea for doing a workshop video resetting up my board for a while, but I'm wondering if I should do it as a live chat, or I might do it on Instagram, but it might be that I do it twice. I don't know. It's hard to know. It might be that I do it as a video for YouTube, but I do it as a live, like an Instagram TV thing. We'll see. We'll see. I was hoping to do it before we get to Christmas, but the way it's looking, I probably don't need to do it. I think my board, the small board is okay. It's the bigger board that needs some changes. And I'm not sure if I've really got time to do it this side of Christmas. We'll see. We'll see. There's so many things I want to put on there. I think I'm going to run out of space on the board, but yeah. And for someone who never used to use a lot of pedals at all, I suddenly seem to be using them almost on every gig. So, although I was very good on Saturday at the Oasis gig, I just used the tuner. I didn't have anything else. So it was bass into the tuner, tuner into the amp, and then they took a DI out from that straight to the system. And that was great. Betsy got a run out, which was very good as well. And anyone wondering what the hell I'm talking about, Betsy is the Guy Pratt jazz alike bass built by the Bass Centre as a replica to his 64 jazz, which is called Betsy. Let me take her out of her gig bag. I'll show you what I mean. Gig towel, clearly. Oh, I've even still got the strap and the strap knot. So, so if you've not seen this before, or we've not discussed it, or you've not checked out the demo videos, so there's a soundbite demo here on the channel. There is also a review video. Links for everything will be in the description box from tomorrow. Can't do it tonight because the video gets uploaded overnight because it's streamed live. So this is built by the Bass Centre, made in Korea. They may have changed where they're made now, I don't know. So it's based on Guy Pratt's 64 Jazz, which originally belonged to John Entwistle, then was sold, I think, to Dave Gilmour, and Guy Pratt bought it from Dave Gilmour. So yeah, so it's got that, and then it's in a lovely burgundy mist finish, fitted with EMGs, ebony fingerboard, basswood body, basswood, basswood, take your pick. And it's great. And I used this on the Oasis tribute gig the other night. Fitted with rotor sounds for me. Although if you buy it from the Bass Centre, it will come with Bass Centre Elites, unless you specify something different. And it sounds great, and it's monster. It actually resigned a 62 reissue Fender. I ended up selling because this thing just blew it out of the water. So yeah, so if you've not checked these out, by all means check the demo and the review video here on the channel. Just search for Guy Pratt Betsy. You'll probably find it comes up on YouTube search quite high as well. If you've got any questions about it, ask me. But I've done loads of gigs with this. I actually came across this at the London Bass Guitar Show in 2019. This was their demo model. The lovely Barry Morehouse asked me, would you review this? I said, yeah, of course. Checked with the editor. He said, yeah, off you go. Reviewed it. It was so good, I bought it. It's one of those that you just picked it up and I thought, I've got to have this. So that was it. Sold hook, line and sinker to Mr. Brooks. And the people at the show used it throughout the weekend. I said, as long as it doesn't get damaged, I'm fine. I said, if it does, I'll have a brand new one, thanks. But it didn't get damaged, and it plays great. It really does. And very budget friendly. So if you're in the market for a really good jazz with some EMGs in it, go for it. So it has active pickups, not active tone controls. The battery's under that metal plate. So if we unscrewed this and lifted it up, you'll see the battery there in the cavity. And she's great. And did I mention the teeth back in? Did I mention that the Betsy would be available in black? No, I didn't, Stacey. Thank you very much for reminding me that these are going to be available all black. So it'll be black body, black scratch plate, all of that nonsense. And I'm waiting to hear from them for when those become available, because hopefully they will send me one for review and demonstration. So yeah, I think it's out of tune. It is out of tune. Hey, isn't that great? And I don't have a tuner to hand, so we'll stop playing that immediately because I make myself look very stupid. Yeah, so there we are. So this is the Guy Pratt Betsy. George Iliadis, love this content. Now I have to drive into work. George, have a fabulous day. Thank you very much for getting involved. Thanks for joining in. You're more than welcome anytime, okay? So if you want to join in on any other live chats, get involved here on the channel, feel free. Have a good day. It's very resonant, this Betsy bass. Helped and aided by the ebony fingerboard. You don't often get jazzes with ebony fingerboards unless they're custom models. And the owners specified it. Stacey, awesome. I thought you had said so, Ari, the Betsy in black. No, that's what I said that a couple of weeks ago. They told me. Well, actually, no, they didn't tell me, did they? It was a video that I posted up. Yes, I posted up the review and demo videos on Facebook and Instagram, and the guys at the Bass Centre responded and said, also, these are going to be available in black very soon. Now, if they did a white with a tortoiseshell plate, I'm sold. And in fact, maybe I should ask for that. So yeah, if you're just joining the channel and joining the live chat here, welcome. This is live chat number 27 here on Brooks's Bass Corner. You're more than welcome. It's Tuesday. We do these at 7 o'clock every Tuesday night up until December the 6th. You are more than welcome. If you've got any questions regarding basses, bass amps, bass effects, bass speakers, bass accessories, maintenance stuff, you want to talk about anything to do with bass guitars, feel free. That's what the live chat window is for. If you've not been on a live chat before, you're watching this video in the video window. If you're on the mobile app, below this video is the live chat window. You can type comments, questions. If you need some advice on bass gear, put it in there. As soon as I see it here on the live chat window, I'll respond to it. If you're on the desktop app, that way, there's your live chat window. You can put your comments in, fire them straight to me. As soon as I see them, I'll respond to them. If you've not been on a live chat before and you want to contribute to the channel, want to contribute to the costs, you enjoy what we do here on Brooks's Bass Corner, there's an emoji icon there. You can hit as many emojis as you want in the chat. That's all cool. There's a dollar symbol. The dollar symbol is called Super Chat. Click on that. It allows you to make a financial donation to the channel. You don't have to, but it helps oil the wheels that keep the channel moving. It allows me to buy studio time, allows me to buy the equipment that allows me to do the videos, sound recording equipment, microphones, cables, boom stands, audio interface, bits of gear here. Has to be bought to be reviewed and demoed. The tripod that my camera's on at the moment, all of this stuff has to be bought and paid for. So if you wish to make a financial contribution, you can hit that super chat button. Anything is appreciated. Thank you very much. If you don't want to do it that way, all the videos here on Brooks's Bass Corner are monetized. Underneath the video, you'll see a series of icons. There's a thumbs up, thumbs down, share button, save, watch later. You'll also see a love heart with a dollar symbol. That's called Super Thanks. So in exactly the same way as Super Chat allows you to just click on it and make a donation, you can do the same with any video. Why would you want to do that? Okay, you might really enjoy the content that a creator makes. You might enjoy a particular video that someone has put up. You may be looking for a solution to a problem, or you're looking for answers to something that's happened, or you might need to do something, like you might need to fix something. You might find a video that solves or shows you in depth how to do that, you might want to say thank you to the contributor and creator that made that video that solved your problem. That's what Super Thanks is all about. You don't have to hit it. Videos are free. But if you want to say thank you, and it helps all of us YouTubers who are content creators, it helps keep everything rolling. It keeps YouTube rolling, keeps the algorithm happy with our channels. That's why we do it. But we can't do it without you guys. So if you'd like to hit the subscribe button, feel free. Hit the notification bell. That gives you notifications whenever I'm putting videos up, or I message on the community tab, or I upload YouTube shorts. I keep getting asked by people, watch YouTube shorts. YouTube shorts is YouTube's version of TikTok. In my view, better. It's more organized. You can find content that's uploaded via YouTube shorts for the rest of its life. As I understand it, I'm not on TikTok. Once a video's gone up, it's very hard to find it again. After a day or two, it's gone. It's just disappeared. But with YouTube shorts, you can find that stuff at any time. Excuse me. And the shorts content is going to be getting a huge, how can I put it? It's going to get a huge push from January and February by YouTube. And that's why, if you're watching the content I'm putting out at the moment, I've done a lot of shorts, literally a video a day for the past month or so. It's because I need that shorts content in place for when this big push happens. So there is long form content coming, more of it. But at the moment, the focus has been to get those YouTube shorts up and ready to roll from January and February. They're already there. You can watch them. So you can either go to the shorts tab, or you can go to the playlist section and just look for the shorts playlist, and everything's in there. But yeah, so some very busy times coming up here on Brooks's Space Corner on YouTube, and also on Instagram and Facebook and Twitter as well. I need to get a drink because my throat's getting raspy. That's better. That's cleared it. A touch of the Bob Fleming's going on there, clearly. Visog, evening. Good evening. Welcome. Hope you're well. Hope everything's good where you are. You're very welcome. See, I said once we got past 8 o'clock, the regulars would start appearing. Here they come. And I can see the numbers going up as well, so it's all good. Welcome. If you've got any bass chat or any bass questions, looking for some bass advice, Christmas is coming. If you're thinking of a new bass and you just don't know what to go for, or you need a new amp, maybe your amp's on its last legs, and you think, I need a new amp, but I haven't a clue what to go for, ask me. I might be able to help. You might be looking for a new pedal. Might be looking for several new pedals. Maybe you've got a new project starting, or maybe you've just won an audition for a new band, and you might have to come up with some new gear in order to do the gig. Ask me. I might well be able to help. Let's see. No, we are up to date, aren't we? Yep, got all the live chat messages. Let me just check on the camera. We got everything. Yes, we have. Cool. So for those who have been following the bass string experiment, yes, that's the empathy behind me. We are up to gig number 17 was done on Friday, but I won't be using that bass this week. My 2 gigs this week are Oasis and Stone Roses tributes on Friday, so that'll be this and a Precision, and Saturday is a Queen tribute up in Doncaster. That's right, long old drive, and so it's Precisions all the way for that. So the Empathy won't be coming out again until next week, when I'm doing Uncle Funk again on the Saturday down in Eastbourne, which is a theatre show. So that'll be gig 18 with the same strings on. So if you've been following the series here on the channel, we're up to gig 11 in terms of the videos, but I've actually already filmed and edited 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 and 17. They're ready to go. They'll be coming up very shortly, so keep an eye on that. That's a good reason for hitting the notification bell and subscribing, because when those videos come up, there's a lot of gig footage in there as well. You might want to check it out, actually see what I get up to at weekends. So yeah, there we go. Stacey, I thought you were cutting someone's hair between 7:30 and whenever my time. Either you've done it and they're under the blower, or you've done it already and they're out the door, or they didn't turn up. It's like Billy Joel, it's 9 o'clock on a Saturday, regular crowd shuffles in, isn't it? Right, that's the regulars here, but on Tuesdays, quiet. So no one's shuffling in, they just sort of appear, which is great. It's fine by me. Yeah, this is Piano Man Corner, not Brooks's Bass Corner, clearly. I know this bass is out of tune because I was going for it on Saturday, doing Oasis. God, it's awful, isn't it? Let's get her out. Oh. Now we're in tune. Hurrah! 3:30 client today. 3:30. So 8:30. Sorry, I got the timing all wrong. I thought it was 7:30 for that. My fault. My bad. Very good. That'll be Mrs. Reynolds from number 93. Come for a blue rinse, probably. Very good. So yeah, so here we are. I think we're up to date with everything on there, aren't we? Yeah, I haven't missed anything out. No. Very good. Welcome. If you're just appearing on the channel, or you're just appearing here on the live chat, you're very welcome. It's Tuesday. Yeah, we started at 7. I didn't ask you where you've been, because you've missed literally an hour and 12 minutes of quite riveting bass chat. But anyway, if you've only just appeared, welcome. You're very welcome here on Brooks's Bass Corner. I'm Mike Brooks, and thank you for attending. We do this every Tuesday at 7 o'clock up until December the 6th, and then we take a short break for Christmas. But there will be, as much as I can make it happen, there will be some impromptu sound check and gig live chats over December. Might even be some still this month. I've got quite a few gigs still to do. But if you want notifications of those happening, you really need to hit the subscribe button and also hit the notification bell. Otherwise, you just won't know that they're happening. And the sound check and live chats. I say live, gig, at a gig. Live chats are slightly different to these kind of clinical things that we do here in my office on a Tuesday. Hang on, what's that? Oh, that's funny. I should name my rinses after bass body colours. Burgundy mist today. Exactly, yeah. You could do, yeah. Old English white is one. Ferrari yellow, clearly. A nice teal green. And let's do a cherry sunburst. I'd love to see that. That would be great. Maybe you should, here's something you should be looking at. Cherry sunburst rinse. Now there'd be a thing. But yes, the live chats, the gig live chats are a slightly different beast, because I have a rig there set up. We have various basses and usually some pedals. So if you've got any questions about any of that lot, it makes it really easy to demo it and talk about it at the time. And although no one has asked, I will explain why we don't have like an amp rig here. So I'm plugged, so I could be plugged in so you could hear it. I can't judge how loud that's going to be and not make the camera mic distort, because we're quite close proximity. Whereas when I'm on on a gig situation, I can put some distance between the amp and the camera. A bit harder to do in here because I've kind of got limited room. I will do it at some point. It just needs a bit of prep and like a test run before I do it. So I wouldn't want to have an amp here and start playing and all you guys hear is a load of distorted mush. It's not going to really do anyone any favors, but I will get round to trying to sort that. So yeah, so there we go. So if you've got any questions about bass gear, basses, strings, bass amplifiers, effects, bass accessories, maybe you're a beginner, maybe you are still looking at getting your first bass, maybe you haven't dipped your toe in the water yet, maybe you're an old veteran. Yeah, I'm venturing into that territory, it's clear. And you're looking at some new gear for Christmas, or you've asked someone to get you some stuff, just don't know what you want, ask me. I might know the answer, or I might be able to suggest something suitable. There is going to be over sort of late November and through December, I'm going to be producing some YouTube shorts, basically gift ideas for the bass player in your life. And so basically a YouTube short is 60 seconds or less. So I'm going to have various items each day, and I'll give you the positive spin on what those items are and why you need them, and why they make great presents for the bass player in your life if you aren't indeed the bass player. If you are the bass player, you might want to share those videos with friends and family who are going to buy you presents and say, hey, I need one of these. But I've selectively picked out what we're going to be covering there. So that should all be good. That should all be good. For those interested, there will be merchandise coming on the channel probably after Christmas. Just finishing off some designs and looking to which shopping channel I'm going to use to do it through. Then there's also the membership system, which is something I've been talking about for months, but it's been really hard to kind of ascertain what people would actually pay a membership fee for here on Brooks's Bass Corner. So it's taken a lot of work, a lot of planning, and the question was it just a one fee fits all? So I just offer one sort of content and there's just one fee, or do we offer like a tiered level of fees and content? So still trying to work that one out. It's tricky because there's only so many hours in the day, so many days in the week, and there's just me doing this. It's quite difficult to find the time to sort of tie all of this together. I'll get there, and once it's up and running, it kind of runs itself, and kind of it will lead me to what the next bit will be. But it's just getting that membership system kind of working. But we'll get there. But the merchandise will be a separate thing, and I think we'll probably try and get that out probably January, because there's so few gigs in January. It's there's a lot more sort of time to get all these things sorted out. So it's all cool. It's all good. It's all good. I can see the people watching. Thank you very much for getting involved. Even just sitting there watching is fabulous. It's all good for the channel. But if you want to get involved in the live chat, you want to ask any questions, maybe you've seen a video here on the channel, maybe there's something you'd like to see on the channel that I haven't addressed yet. We had a guy a couple of weeks ago. What did he want? He wanted like effects tutorials. Well, that's been added to the list. That's going to be a thing as soon as I can get around to kind of working out how I want to do it and how I want it to look, and actually trying to work out how long each one would last. It's a very fine balancing act here on YouTube. You can do videos that are 3, 4, 5 minutes long. Some of them do really well, some don't. You can then do a 10-minute video that absolutely sinks and bombs and no one watches any of it. You can do another 13-minute video and it gets a huge number of views. And then another time you can put a 30, 40-minute video up, and it's just luck of the draw whether it does really well or not. It's very hard to know how much time you guys actually want to watch on a video, but I guess it depends what the topic and the subject matter is. So, you know, I'm always working on that. Stacey, I remember your help with the Marco bass I have. Was it the Bass Lounge in Camden from which the clips came? No, that was the Great British Bass Lounge up, I think it's Congleton. So up near Stoke, kind of up that way, up the M6, heading towards Manchester. Do you foresee a demo of the latest from Marco Bass? I don't, because I think they were the UK distributors. I haven't been in touch with Sandy actually since we did that review. If he wanted to send me some stuff, then great, I'll review it certainly and do some demos. I need to touch base with him on that, to be honest. And after that review day, we didn't hear a peep from the Great British Bass Lounge before the pandemic, and then the pandemic struck, and ever since then with the magazine I never did any more review days anywhere. Oh no, tell a lie, what am I talking about? We did, the last review day I did was at the gallery in Camden, and that was August 2019, but since the pandemic hit I didn't do any more review days anyway. And now as I don't think I'm writing for the magazine anymore, there won't be any more of those review days. So yeah, that's the way it is, I guess. Everything now needs to come here for me to do reviews. I would love to go to a couple of the bass stores and do it. The problem is, to do review and demo videos takes time, and in a shop environment, unless there's like a back storeroom, or it's like at PMT in Birmingham, there always used to be a room we could do it in, but places like the gallery, there's just no room. There's no room to set cameras up, that's for sure. Not easily, without sort of encroaching on their floor space. So it's hard to do that. I think pretty much most of the reviews and demos are going to have to be done here. That's no bad thing. It means I can take the time with it. But yeah, so that's the Marco bass. Yeah, that Great British Bass Lounge were the UK distributors. But yeah, I did that. There were two. I did one while I was there, and we were going to do the second next time I went up there and didn't go back. So yeah, that's the story with that. We passed the old Brum Bass Centre yesterday, carpet store. Now I know it's a sad thing. Halcyon days of the Bass Centre in Wapping, and you see videos and stuff and old pictures. They really were great days. We sound like a bunch of old fogies talking about Bass Centre, but it was just great. I can't express to the younger generation, because they're so used to kind of going into PMT and guitar here in the UK, and we have the gallery and Bass Direct and you know, all these great stores that we have, but none of them come close to what the Bass Centre was, because the Bass Centre was the distributor for so many brands, and they would carry every model. Like they had a Warwick wall, and literally every model that Warwick came out with, there was an example of it there. Same with Stingrays. Every year the colour options would change, and they would have one of everything. You know, you wanted a WOW, you went to the Bass Centre, they probably had about 10. You wanted a Status, they would have had loads of everything. Series 1, Series 2, Series 2000, Series 4000, Empathies, you know, everything was there. I'm glad I was saying this last week on the Duran thing, you know, how lucky we were to live through the times with the bands that were big during our childhood. How lucky those of us of my age were to have the Bass Centre, you know. It kind of opened our eyes to so many things. We didn't have the internet. How were you going to get American-made basses unless a store in the West End, here in London, a store in the West End got some? But a lot of the distributors just wouldn't go near the exotic sort of boutique basses because the markup was so much, they couldn't make much of a profit on it. They had one in Manchester too. I visited the one in Manchester back in 2003, but there just wasn't a lot of stock in there at that time. Stacey, nothing takes the place of trying out an instrument in smaller shops. Those guys can get anything you want. Yeah, yeah. The bass centre was, I mean, it certainly wasn't small, that's for sure. There was loads of space. And the lovely thing in there was you'd go in there and you could spend all day there. But you'd meet some of your heroes because they came in there too. And they would have stuff set up and gear worked on. And, you know, I've blown the speaker in my cab and the bass centre would give them another speaker, you know. And they all went in there. They really did. It was the place, even though it was a real arseache to get to, generally, unless you were over that side of town, because it was down in Wapping, over in Docklands. But I've got so many lovely memories of that place. Just the smell of it. It was just, you got off the tube and it was like you wanted to run from the tube to the shop in case you were missing something that someone was going to buy that you wanted to get. I mean, I should ask Barry next time I see him, how much did you make out of it? He must have made a bloody fortune. Because as he told me, we were having a curry once and we did an interview for Bass Guitar Magazine, they could sell 10 wows in a day back then. In fact, they could sell 10 of all the exotic brands if they had the stock, because the stuff just flew off the shelves, and it hit such a rich vein of bass interest, I think, from about 84. Yeah, they started in 84 through the 90s, and they just carried on. I mean, the whole time I ever went there, first time I went there was late August 1988, and the last time I went to Wapping would have been 2002, I think, was when they moved to Liverpool Street. And I think the last time I went in there, once it moved to Liverpool Street, would have been 2007, maybe 2008. Can't remember. I think there might have been an item we were reviewing for Bass Guitar Magazine. I had to take it back to the store. But yeah, before the DLR, yeah, exactly. East London line, mate. The orangey yellow one. That's how you got to Wapping. And you used to go in there and literally stand on that platform, and it was horrible. It was grotty. Really, it was. You could hear the river. Vissel, did you ever go to one of their bass weekends? I didn't, because I think they did those before I became a bass player. I don't think they did another bass weekend after about 86, and I didn't pick up a bass till 87. I did attend many a bass clinic there. I saw 2 Billy Sheehan clinics there. So one was March 91. The other one, I think, was 97. I think it might have been like October, maybe September, October 97. I saw a couple of other clinics there as well. But it was a great store. It really was. I bought quite a bit out of there without really realizing I needed to buy bits. But I mean, I bought this PV bass fix out of there. I bought my 5-string Stingray with the graphite neck, which is here to my left. I bought that from the Bass Centre in 2001. I bought a T-bass, Seafoam T-bass out of there. I bought my old Mark King, ex-Mark King Stingray from there. One of these wireless units came from there. What else did I buy? I mean, tons of pedals. I sold some basses through there. I had EQ circuits put in, replacement Hartkey speakers. My amp used to go there because they were the Hartkey distributor for ages. It was good, you know, just great. And you're always welcome. Kettle was always on. Just really helpful. As a young player, you know, you could go in there. Anything, if you had any problems with your gear, you take it to Chris Ward, and Chris would sort it. And if he said, I need it for a week, because he just didn't have time to do it there and then, he came back in a week and it was done. But very often I'd walk in there with a problem and he'd sort it there and then. It's great. I'd slip him a couple of quid, say thank you. Visog, I saw Billy at the Manchester Guitar Magazine show events. Back in those days, he used to do so many of those things if he was over here. He was over here quite a bit. So yeah, I mean, when he did the first one, which was March 91, was the first time he did a clinic at the Bass Centre. I'd been following his trajectory for a while. When I was at school, even before I became a bass player, there was a guitar player in my class who turned me on to David Lee Roth, and he's got this guitarist called Steve Vai, who's amazing. The bass player's amazing too. Is this guy called Billy Sheehan? Well, that wasn't going to resonate with me because I wasn't a bass player. And then before I knew it, Rotor Sound brought out the Billy Sheehan strings, and I was like, oh, okay, right. So I keep hearing this name, so he must be pretty good. And then I had the Guitar World magazine, which is up there in my thing of magazines, which was the interview he did with Jack Bruce, which was Guitar World does bass. So they were talking about all the legends of bass. And I could read about everything. He said, oh, I got this new project, Mr. Big. And, and I thought, and it's going to be a bit like free kind of thing. It's got a free vibe about it. I was like, well, I really love free. So I kind of started following Billy Sheehan and bought the first Mr. Big album. Love that. But obviously had never seen him play. Never saw any of the videos for the first album here in the UK. Lean Into It hadn't come out at that point. But you'd see pictures and read interviews, and it's like, I need to see him. As soon as he comes to the UK, and then they booked in the tour for Lean Into It. So the first tour was in May 91. They played Hammersmith in London. But the Billy Sheehan Clinic was in March. And so that was the first time I'd seen him do his thing. So all these sounds and textures and tones that I heard on record, now I'm watching him do it, and I'm literally about 10 feet away from him. And in the pictures you used to see in the interviews, he had this huge rack, loads of effects and compressors and noise gates and distortion boxes and all this stuff. And at the Bass Centre, he plugged straight into an Ampeg rig with a Boss compression sustain pedal. And I was like, so what does he need the rack for? Because I'm hearing all the sounds. And basically the rack was there for, in a touring situation, that's how he got his perfect sound. But when he's in a small clinic situation, all his techniques and how he plays and the attitude and this compression sustain pedal, just, it was all there. And I was like, okay, right. So you don't really need to have the big effects rack. That's all a little bit overkill. But yeah, blew me away. And Stu Harm did a clinic. Yeah. But again, we didn't have the internet back then. Very often you didn't know about these things unless they were playing at your local guitar shop or whatever, and you would go in and see it was advertised. You wouldn't know about it a lot of the time. Billy did a flexi disc for Guitar Player, Birds of Prey. Did he now? Oh. Probably will be on YouTube. I'll go searching for that later. I didn't know that. Or maybe I did and just had forgotten about it. Cool. Yeah, I mean, I've interviewed Billy a number of times, and once we get talking, there's a lot to dig into there. You know, we have some fairly in-depth conversations about bass music and everything else in between. You know, he's good fun. It's good fun. Sorry, I'm just I'm talking to Visog here. You guys do your own thing. You're very welcome. This is live chat number 27 here on Brooks's Bass Corner. We are talking basses. We're talking bass guitars, amplifiers, speakers, effects pedals, bass accessories, bass legends, bands with great bass players, albums, tours. You want to talk about gear? You got problems with any of your gear? Let me know. That's what the live chat window's for. It's a two-way thing. At the moment, I'm having a two-way thing with Visog here. We're getting down with Billy Sheehan. But if you've got anything you'd like to ask, or perhaps need some help with, or some advice, stick it in the live chat window. If you're on the mobile app, it's just below the video. If you're on the desktop platform, it's that way. Stick your comments, questions, whatever you want to say in there, and I'll respond to it as soon as I see the message pop up. He's hilarious. Billy is hilarious. He's got so many stories. Seen his solo with Stanley at MI, yes. That's fairly full on, isn't it? I mean, what a stage to be on. You know, there's two bass luminaries. Are we talking about just the two of them, or are we talking about that big row of bass players? Because I think that might have been the year after, because I think both of them did 97 and 98. Could be wrong. The brain's fading. There's so much to try and remember. But yeah, but the row of bass players, right, there we go. Yes, I have seen that. In fact, I think it popped up on my feed about 3-4 days ago, and I started watching it and my phone rang, so I didn't come back to it for some reason. Yeah, Stanley lifts his glasses off in amazement. Many players have done that with Stanley, don't worry. Yeah, those sort of things. I mean, I've been privy to that at the Warwick base camp, where you've got loads of really outstanding players all together, and it's always quite jaw-dropping that they all give each other room to play. They know that thing about not all trying to all play at the same time, because it's just crap. Don't do that. But yeah. It's funny. I went to the base camp in 2016 for the magazine, and so we had the people who were teaching, and we had various people who were sort of coming in. But we knew on the Thursday night that loads of people were coming in for the whole weekend, which is when they do kind of like the gig concert festival thing. And I saw the list of attendees that were coming for Thursday, and my flight was like 6 a.m. the following morning. And I realized I just wasn't going to get any interviews with these people, because they'd been traveling all day and all they wanted to do was have a drink and chill out, and they didn't want a journalist in their face. But I mean, you know, I'm talking to Justin Chancellor and Stuart Zender, and Dave Swift was there, and I think Bakiti was coming in, and it's just like, I just looked at the list and thought, I've completely missed an opportunity here. But was what it was, couldn't change it. So, but all of them looked absolutely drawn from all the flying and travel from the airport to where Warwick is based. So yeah, trying to do in-depth bass interviews with all those guys, they weren't going to have it. But that's a shame. Maybe another time. Yeah, so here we are. It's what time? 8, coming up for 8:40. We've done nearly an hour and 40 minutes here on Brooks's Bass Corner. If you're just stumbling across us this evening, welcome. You are more than welcome here. This is a bass guitar channel. We talk bass guitars, we talk bass amplifiers, speakers, effects, accessories. We talk pedal boards. We talk bass playing in general. We talk about bass legends, bands with great bass players, great bass albums. If you want to ask anything about any of the videos here on the channel, you might want to talk about some of the interviews I've done here on the channel. You might want to talk about some of the basses that you can see here. Feel free. That's what the live chat window is for. It's a two-way conversation. So if you've got anything you'd like to add or talk about or discuss, maybe you've got some gigs coming up, you want to ask some questions about what you should be taking out and using, or you might have heard some bass lines and you think, how do I get that sound? I might know. So feel free to ask. I'm just going to tap on here to see if the messages have updated. No, we're up to date. That's cool. So yeah. So next week we have another live chat on Tuesday, and then I think there's 2 more. Yeah. Trying to get the dates right. 26th, 29th. That's it, 29th, and then the 6th. So we've got 3 more of these before we kind of stop for Christmas, but we won't be stopping. There'll be some impromptu live chats when I'm at gigs, and also sound checks. So keep keep looking at the channel, because that's how you'll know. The best way of knowing if I'm posting stuff up, or if we're going to do an impromptu last minute live chat, hit the subscribe button and hit the notification bell, and then you will be notified when those are about to start. Visog, enjoyed your interview with Chris Squire, Mike. Thank you very much. I'm glad you did. I can't believe that is 8 years ago. In fact, 8.5 years ago. Time really does fly. You got any questions about it? You want to ask me anything about it? I'll tell you. There's a lot I could tell about that interview. But yeah, thank you. I'm glad you enjoyed it. That was actually one of the first interviews I posted up. I think the first was Neil Fairclough, 3-parter, and I think Chris Squire was the second. Good interview, wasn't it? Not just because of me, clearly. I thought he was quite chatty. Once he'd had 2 glasses of large glasses of white wine, he kind of chilled out and was quite happy to chat. When he first arrived, I think again he was a bit browbeaten with travelling, and he was late. But also he was facing, I think, about 10 interviews that day, and I got number 1. And I think the fact that I'd done my research, and also the fact I was a Yes fan, and I kind of knew his career and his playing and the albums, and I know all the background content, kind of made it a bit easier for him, really. So if he'd got like an interviewer from a paper, like the Guardian or the Telegraph or something, they'd have just gone over the same old questions he's heard a million times. But I tried to fire off a load of stuff that I thought, well, I wonder, what does he think about that? Or, what was his take on that happening or that happening? And, those gigs back in the early 70s. And, was Roger Taylor from Queen ever a potential replacement for Bill Bruford? Because I'd heard that before. Yeah, if he set that straight. And I got it from the horse's mouth, so can't complain about that. He was big. I mean, it was like a walking bear. And when he put his hand out to shake my hand, I mean, it was like 3 times the size of mine. I mean, I don't have particularly big hands for a guy, but his fingers were like, all of his fingers were like as thick as those 4 fingers put together. I was like, my God. But yeah. But a lovely guy. Once he got chatting and he realised I wasn't there just taking the piss, I knew what I was talking about. He was kind of cool, and yeah, he answered everything I had, really. I couldn't ask for better that day, which was very kind of him. So, happy days, really. Did get a little tongue-tied at the start, I think. But you do, when you're in awe of these people, and there's so many, sat on a park bench on a lovely day, you'll think up 100 questions. When you've then got to come up with those questions and actually you're going to be asking them, different thing entirely. Always have to go into an interview prepped. Don't ever think you just go in there and have a chat, because you'll just start going, that's not going to happen. You got to know your stuff, do your background, and invariably these people have got something to promote. That's fine, that's part of it. Then you've got all the backstory and all the other stuff. Then you've got the gear, touring, recording, and then there's 1,000,001 other bits you can sort of tap into, really. But I've never had a problem doing interviews. I don't know what's led me down this rabbit hole now, but we'll go down it anyway. I always look at them, because I'm gigging at a much lower level than these people. I kind of have an insight, and I've seen things, and I've been in situations where I've been around people of that caliber, maybe lower, with me much lower on the bill. At the end of the day, they are really no different than the rest of us. They've just done very well in their careers, and and that's all cool. But a lot of the time, they just want to talk to down to earth people. They don't want the hangers on and the people going, "Oh, aren't you wonderful?" Well, that's fine for a certain amount of time. I think it's a bit, annoying. Not that they always want to talk about technical stuff, they'd rather talk about something that was on the news or a film or an album or something else. But I have to say, generally, apart from two that I really would never want to interview again, and actually if I was asked to, I'd just say no. Everyone else was very very good, really, generally. There wasn't anyone that no, I can't say that. No, there were two that went into it just looking for an argument and a fight. But that's by the by. I'll keep those to myself. But I do have the recording, so it's all down on tape, guys. So, yeah. But no, generally everyone's been pretty good. And you get some nice situations like, sitting down and having dinner with Nathan East for 2 hours and talking bass and music and career and family and a million and one things he's achieved. But then he starts asking me the question, and I'm thinking, well, I'm the interviewer, not you. And then last time we saw each other, which was 2017, it was just like two friends chatting. And Nathan and I keep in touch quite regularly on WhatsApp. And when he's over here in the UK, he'll let me know, and if we can meet up, great. We don't tend to get the chance because he's generally so busy. But yes, seen Nathan's house in that video. It's enormous. Work hard, kids, and you can have those sort of places. Yeah, exactly. He's not short of a bob or two, and he's got a lovely house and lovely family. Great. I think it's a great accolade for him that both of his kids have come through university, and his son is a monster piano player. Really, probably he's going to be on that jazz path. Seriously good. If you've not seen him, Noah East. Nathan takes him out on quite a lot of gigs now, jazz gigs, and not a lot going to stop that guy. I can tell you, he's built for a long career in music. Another good one is when he's playing Sujuk and Stevie Wonder surprises him at NAMM. Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah, absolutely. I'm sure he got a little nervous at that as well. I'm sure he did. Because you just don't expect that. I don't think you knew he was there. But, yeah. Yeah, he's due another album. I can't remember. Last time we were talking, I think I asked him, is there a new album in the pipeline? He was saying, well, there's ideas and there's demos and stuff, but it's just a case of getting in there and doing it. And kind of the pandemic kind of put a stop to a lot of things. I don't get the impression particularly that Nathan likes doing that from home. I think he likes to be in a studio with the musicians around him, so there's an energy. But actually, next time I speak to him, I'll say, new album imminent. There was meant to be a book, and I hadn't seen that book. He said Yamaha were doing a book on him, because I asked if he wanted to do a book. He said, "Oh, it's all being taken care of," and I don't think the book's come out. If it did, I missed it. But, I'll check. I will ask him, see what he says. So, I can still see there are people watching, so it's all good. You're very welcome here. This is Brooks's Bass Corner on Tuesday night. Live chat number 27. Yeah, really, 27. I'm not sure where 27 live chats have gone, but this is number 27. In fact, by rights, it's 29 because we did 2 impromptu live chats a week and a half ago. But these are the proper, authentic, scheduled live chats from my office here at Brooks Towers. And the impromptu ones don't count within that flow of office live chats, but they're all part of it. So if you don't know what the hell we're doing here, this is a bass channel, bass guitar channel. That's why you see various bass guitars and amplifiers and effects and speaker cabinets and what have you. If you've got any questions, anything you'd like to ask, stick it in the live chat window on the mobile app. It's below here. On the desktop, it's that way. And as soon as I see your messages pop up, I'll respond to them. If you have never followed the channel or you've just found us, feel free to subscribe via the hit the subscribe button. Please give the video a thumbs up. That's very much appreciated. If you want notifications when I upload new videos and post new content, then hit the notification bell. And then you'll get a notification whenever I put new stuff up on the channel. You can contribute to the channel in two ways. There's Super Chat here in the live chat window. So at the bottom, you'll see an emoji icon. So you can add emojis. That's fine. Next to that is a dollar symbol. That's called Super Chat. If you hit that, you can make a financial contribution to the channel, which covers all the costs of studio time and equipment and buying stuff for reviews and demos and things like maintenance kits from when we do the workshop videos, and buying the tools that allows me to set the basses up, which then get filmed, and then that's content here on the channel. So if you want to contribute to the channel, you can do that via Super Chat. Alternatively, every video on the channel here is monetized. Underneath the videos, you'll see a row of icons. You've got thumbs up, thumbs down, save, watch later, share. You'll see a love heart with a dollar symbol. That's called Super Thanks. That's exactly the same as Super Chat. Click on it, you can make a contribution to the channel. And it's all very much appreciated. You don't have to, but anything you wish to contribute financially to the running of the channel, very much appreciated here. Just keeps the channel going, keeps YouTube happy, keeps the algorithm going. At the moment, the channel's kind of flying. Everything on my analytics is in green, heading upwards. So more views, longer views, more subscribers, more likes on the videos, more comments, more everything. So thank you. Without you guys, I can't do it. So I can't do it on my own. Although the videos I do all on my own, clearly. But without you guys sort of getting involved, watching the videos, enjoying it, messaging me, you can do that via the community tab here on YouTube, or you can do it via Facebook, you can do it via Instagram, you can do it via Twitter. If you message me on any of those, I will respond as quickly as I possibly can. As soon as I get a notification that there's messages, I'll deal with them. That's how we roll. So let's hear what gigs you guys have got. What you got coming up? We're starting to get up to the business end of the year. Once we come out of summer, there's a bit of a lull here in the autumn. And now we're coming up to Christmas time. It's about to get crazy, very crazy. I think at the moment I've got about 13 or 14 gigs for December. But that's still a good 9 or 10 off my record. I think the best I've ever had is 23 in December, which is fairly good going, I have to say. That was a very busy December. And boy, did I need a rest in January. But you'll only moan if you're not out there doing it. So yeah, and hopefully, fingers crossed, we don't get another bout of serious COVID this year. That really kind of spanked my gig diary last year. I got a whole load of work done the first 2 weeks, and I thought, oh great. And then Omicron turned up, and it completely blew my diary out the water. Blew my New Year's Eve out the water. And yeah, not good. Not good. So I'm hoping, fingers crossed, we get a clear run at it this year. I've had my booster jab, so hopefully that COVID won't be coming knocking at my door. So yeah. Sorry, I'm noodling on a bass. It's lethal. Put one in my hands and I'll just start playing. So if you're wondering what this is a Guy Pratt Betsy bass made by the Bass Centre here in the UK. They're made in Korea, but the Bass Centre is a British company. And it's basically a copy of Guy Pratt's 64 jazz bass, which he christened Betsy. Formerly belonged to John Entwistle of The Who. was then bought by Dave Gilmour of Pink Floyd, and then Guy Pratt bought it from Dave Gilmour, as far as I'm aware. And his tech stuck in a set of active EMGs, which was nice of him. And he never looked back. And that bass can be seen over loads and loads of videos and DVDs of Pink Floyd. A lot of guys work in various bands, Roxy Music. He's out with Saucer Full of Secrets, I think, at the moment. Does loads of stuff with Gary Kemp. I think, here we go, another good one. I think it was a wedding present, as I recall. No, that was a different bass. That's the Sunburst 62. It's the one he does the disco bass lines thing with. Betsy was one that he bought. No, the one that was the wedding present was the one he kept asking Dave Gilmour, please sell me it, please sell me it, please sell me it. Dave Gilmour was like, nah, not selling it, not selling it, not selling it. And then when Guy got married, that was the wedding present in the case. Lucky beggar. But he bought the Betsy. And I've actually played the real Betsy. I played it at the London Bass Guitar Show in 2013 when Guy was there. And I've got photos of it. If you go on the Facebook page, you'll see those. And it's great, great bass. Very woody sounding. Regardless of the pickups, I played it acoustically and then plugged it in. Sounded great. Everything a 64 Jazz would be, you'd think. But he just didn't want to keep taking it out on the road. And if you've seen pictures of Betsy lately, there's a lot of finger gouging on the body around the pickup. Alembic Boy, stack knob. Yes, the 62 stack knob, I think it was. Yes, indeed. Welcome, Alembic Boy. Nice to see you again. Hope everything's all good. Yeah, so Guy didn't want to keep taking the original Betsy out, so he said to the bass centre, could you make me some basses, please? And they were more than happy to make it part of their Bassmaster series. So, and it's just great. I really love this. I love this, really I do. When I first got it after the bass show in 2019, I must have done about 40 gigs with this straight off the bat, leading up to that Christmas. Actually, from the bass show, which would have been second to third week in September, up until the pandemic, I pretty much used this bass for everything. My Empathy behind me, the red one, had a little bit of a rest. This did all the gigs because I really wanted to see if it could do everything I needed it to do. And it did. Yeah, hi, Alembic Boy. Hi, nice to be here. All good. Always, you're welcome here. You know that. You've been on here before. So yeah, shame this isn't a stack knob. That would suit me down to the ground, but it's fine. It is what it is. And they're really competitively priced. I think here in the UK, these are £649. So, you know, for a really good jazz bass with some active EMGs in it, and it sounds fab. Put a new set of strings on, the ebony fingerboard just makes it all jump. Really, just sounds good. And just leading up to the pandemic, I was just getting started in a Jimi Hendrix tribute theatre show. And we got one gig done, one out of about 20 that were booked. And I used this on the second set, and I used my 62 Jazz reissue for the first set. Recorded both sets, audio and video. And this Betsy absolutely blew the 62 reissue out of the water, without doubt. If you listen to the audio, this thing is just like on steroids, just amazing. Thick, proper jazz tone, biting top end, throaty, nice plummy bottom end. And as I sold the 62 reissue, I thought there is no point keeping this because the Betsy's going to be the thing that I use in that context. So it had to go. That was that. But for $649, this is a steal. And bass noodling, yeah. So yeah, so there we are. There we are. Alembic Boy, do I need to be getting an alembic off the wall, or are we all right not to do that this week? They're there. It's just there's some stuff in the way. If there's any, well, regular viewers to the channel, if there's anything here that you've seen, either reviewed or demoed, or things in live chats you want me to pull out of the rack, feel free to ask and we'll have a conversation about it. Maybe there's something that you would like to buy and you just would like a little bit more info. Maybe you haven't got time to get to the shops, or maybe you're looking at something online and before you put your money down on it, you'd like to just maybe you want to ask what my opinion is, for what it's worth. Tell you what, if YouTube are listening, you need to make it possible for us to put images into live chat. Yes, you can't do it. Let you off this time then. Oh, I can get, if you want me to get an alembic off the wall, I'll get one off the wall. No, I'm quite good at looking after my gear. Occasionally certain bases get dings and nicks. I mean, the 5-string Stingray down here has got a ding on the back from when I was practicing all the Bonnie Tyler stuff back in 2006. And as I had to pick something up off the floor and the base tilted and hit my desk. And it got a chip on the back, which I was really, well, on the top edge. And then my other Stingray, my 4, about 6 months after that, I was at a gig and the drummer, one of his stands fell out of his traps bag, hit my gig bag and went straight through onto the paint on this place. I'll show you, it's so clear. Right. Look at that. So, you know, with the best laid plans, your gear still gets dings, but there we are. Not to worry, they're working bases. Hey, Can Voodoo. See, I said this. Once we get past 8 o'clock, all the big guns come out to play. Hey, how you doing? Been late, been to the chippy. I hope you had salt and vinegar on them. And did you have a pickled egg? That's what we've been waiting for this news. So we need a rundown exactly of what you had. And I hope there was lashings of ketchup as well. So while we just wait for Can Voodoo to tell us what he's had for dinner, I'll say thank you to everyone who's here watching and who's been contributing. Not just tonight, but all the live chats. It's been a lot of fun doing these, and you know, I hope there'll be many, many more going forward. We've got another 3 leading up to, let's think, December the 6th. Then we take a little bit of a break over Christmas because everyone gets really kind of hyper busy in December with 1,000,001 things to do. However, I will do some impromptu live chats when we're on sound checks or when I'm on sound checks at various gigs, because my diary's looking pretty busy in December. So as long as I've got good Wi-Fi at the venue, there's no point trying to do live chat with video on mobile internet. It's just not really built for that. But if I've got good Wi-Fi at the venues and at the gigs, we will do some impromptu live chats. So feel free to join me. Can Voodoo, no, we don't do pickled eggs in Caerphilly. Pine chips tonight. And what pie was it? See, this may be a base channel and a base live chat, but this is the gold dust, you know. This is what we hang on here. So I need to know what was in that pie, frankly. I can't believe you don't do pickled eggs. Did you have a pickled onion? Did you have mushy peas? Come on. Here we go. Meat and potato. Reliably reliable, clearly. I'm veggie, so obviously that won't appeal, but I'd have had a pucker pie, mince and onion, pucker pie would have been great. So we just need to know about the mushy peas and the pickled onion now. No, we're very basic here. I can't believe that. But anyway, as long as you had a good feed, sir, that's what's important. I'm very partial to a pie, I have to say. But as being veggie, you're kind of usually quite limited in what you can have. You've got to search around. But since Pucker Pies started doing vegan pies, they've been great. So I'm not vegan, by the way. I'm veggie. But so if Pucker Pies want to send some through, you know, they're very much appreciated, I can assure you. So yeah. So how are you anyway? I hope you've had a good week. Thank you for you turns up for virtually all the live chats in recent weeks, so I do appreciate that. You know, we like regular attendees. It's very good. I'm waiting to hear what bass news he's got since last week. Have you done any gigs since last week? Can Voodoo? By the way, what I'm playing is nothing sensical. It's just it's noodling. It's just exercising the fingers. I haven't done a gig since Saturday. In fact, I don't think I've picked a bass up since Saturday. I've got to get the calluses in tip-top condition before we get to December. You bought a Fender acoustic bass today. Excellent. Which model? And no gigs. We're taking a little break at the moment. Understood. Which Fender acoustic did you get? Because there's quite a few, and they do change their range quite often. So we just need to know which model and what you've strung it with, or what is on it. We can talk about strings for acoustic basses if you like. I have varying opinions on different strings for acoustic. It's very different to what you might put on an electric. Sounds great acoustically, this bass. Mate, it's what you're picking up off this camera mic is just a set of Rotor Sound 4505 steel round wounds and this bass. I'm not plugged into an amp or anything. So that, you know, if a bass sounds good acoustically, chances are it's going to sound pretty good once it's amplified. And I'd always say, actually, it's always been a premise of mine doing reviews for the magazines and on my channel. Play a bass acoustically before you amplify it, because if it sounds bad acoustically, it's going to be pretty bad plugged in, unless it has a remarkable set of electronics in it. A CB100CE. I don't know what model that is, so I'd need to check that out. So what strings has it got on it? Is it got phosphor bronze, or has it got steels, flats, half wounds? What we got? See, I said this bass is great value for money. 649, 649 of the King's pounds as they are now. And these aren't new strings. These have been on for 2.5 years. Actually, this is the set of strings that went on here for the Hendrix show. So that was February 2020. It's done a lot of gigs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Probably done about 18 gigs, I think. They still sound great. The Rotor Sound, so put a new set on and plug it in, it sounds absolutely amazing. Some of that's to do with the EMG, some of it's to do with the ebony fingerboard. Bronze, I think, very much an impulse purchase, 250 quid. Well, you're not going to lose too much on that. From a place called A Strings in Pontypridd. Okay, bronze, phosphor bronze strings are great if you want it to sound really bright. But you don't get a real... You're not going to get a thunderous bass response out of an acoustic bass anyway. But if you want a warmer sound, then you're probably not going to want the bronze ones on there for too long. So what I'd suggest, mate, you can take my advice how you find it, but play the bronze ones until they're dead. And then if you're happy with them, go with another set of phosphor bronze. They don't all sound the same, but you've probably worked this out with strings. You can have 20 sets by different manufacturers of steels and none of them sound the same. I've found for acoustic basses, half wounds work best for me. I did try some round wounds, didn't work. I tried some flat wounds and it was just like playing rope. I just couldn't when you needed a bit more, not zing, but you wanted a bit more bite, as I did in one thing I did with acoustic, a couple of semi-acoustic basses. I couldn't get it with the flats, but half wounds work perfectly for me. So if you want to give them a go, do. I highly recommend them, but it's what works for you, my friend. You might find bronze do everything you need them to do. I had about 3 or 4 sets on my Washburn AB40, and in the end I just thought, I don't want that sound. That when they're new, they're so in your face, and I actually wanted something warmer, and I didn't have a mute at the time. Now I've got the Groove Gear Thump, but when I took those strings off, and I tried rounds years ago, like 20 years ago, and that just didn't work with that bass. I tried the flats, and it was like, no, this isn't working. So is it back to phosphor bronze ones? And I put a set of half wound piccatos on, and it was like perfect. So I had brightness and zing, but without being too in your face. Loads of really nice low mid, and a really nice sort of warm bottom end. It was great. They are a bit bright, so I might try something different next time. Cool. And also play around with your preamp on it, because that will make a big difference. And I think with most sort of semi-acoustic preamps in these basses, a little adjustment goes a long way. So take it easy with the bass frequencies, with the bass EQ. It'll just start booming, it'll take off. If you've never experienced that, play on a live stage and start boosting the bass EQ on the EQ that's on the guitar, and you'll soon realize what taking off is. It'll make your trousers flat, put it that way. But yeah, it's all good. It's all good. This is the experimentation, you see. The hard thing with acoustics is if you're not using it a lot regularly, it takes years to go through a set of strings. So unless you can afford to just take strings off, you know, after they haven't been on very long, it can be a bit, it needs a bit of patience. But I was quite fortunate at one time. I was working with an original artist who was doing a whole load of acoustic shows. We had quite a big band. We had like 2 keyboard players, guitar, bass, drums, percussion, violin. It was like a big old band. But we did loads of acoustic shows. So that gave me the opportunity to try loads of different strings with it. And from that, I knew what suited that bass. And yet the Ibanez that I showed you the other week, the Dragon's Eye, I can never remember the model number. That's got flat wound Darios on it. That's going to have half wounds, or I'll try some half wounds. That might even work better with some bronzes on that, because that has quite a darker sound. But we'll see. We'll see. I don't get to use that much on the gigs I'm doing at the moment. So a quick drink, actually. My throat's getting dry again. Let's swap the old bass over, see what I can tantalise you with. Is there any requests? If you know what I've got here, is there a bass you'd like to see? How many have we got? Okay, there's people there. If you know what's in my bass collection, or you've seen videos here on the channel, or you've seen stuff on the social media, what would you like me to pull out of the rack? I'm not going to read out a big long list of basses, that's for sure, but if there's something you've seen previously you'd like to see and hear, let me know. Here she is, in all her burgundy mist beauty. How about that? I open up my whole bass collection. No one knows what to say. How about I don't know. Let's just, I'll pick that 4-string Stingray up because it's close. It's close by. So, if you haven't seen this one before, where have you been? It's featured often. There's a review video of this. I haven't done the soundbite demo yet. Yeah, Return of Handsome Rugged Man will have to go on the back burner for a few hundred years. Christ on a bite. That's a tricky one. I did tell you. You thought You Can't Blame Lewis was all right. Yeah, Return of the Handsome Rugged Man is exactly the same period. But again, as I said to you on last week's video, I think there's two bass lines going on at the same time, and that's why Mark doesn't play it live. It's just, there's too much. You just physically, you can't replicate everything that's going on. But there we go. And if anyone's going to prove me wrong, it'll be him. So let's wait and see. Hey, so in case you haven't seen, this is the 4-string with the ding there. But otherwise, this is my 4-string Stingray. It's a 99. I bought it secondhand in 2007. So it's got the oiled neck, much to my annoyance. I'd rather it was the gloss neck. You can see I've changed the scratch plate. So it was just a black one. So this is a nice abalone pickguard I had made. And then I've replaced the pickup with an Aguilar unit. And I've also replaced the circuit. So the circuit is the John East MMSR, which I think is Music Man Stingray replacement. So this is a 3-band EQ with a sweeper wall mid. It also has a push-pull, which gives you the, if you like, the turbo boost treble that you get on a Sabre, which is the 2-pickup version of a Stingray through the 80s. And also on that circuit, if you go into the circuit board, we do from the front, there are some little jumpers, and you can actually change the mid-range response. So you can change the floor levels of the sweep. So yeah, you can change pretty much whatever you want. And that's it. So there's a review video. I'll put the link in the description box. But yeah, this is a belter. It really is. It's a cracker. Plays great, sounds great. Sounds a lot better since I've changed the pickup and the circuit. But there's definitely something about these oiled necks that just aren't as great, in my opinion, as the gloss neck. Frequencies don't jump out of it like the old gloss necks do. These strings are a bit dead as well. But again, Rotor Sound 66s, 4505. So, but it plays great. Everything a Stingray should be. I think we're out of tune a bit. We are. It's better. Wrong one. Too many different headstock designs. Go again. Yeah, very good. I'm watching myself from about 10 seconds ago. Yes, okay, right. Back to work, Michael John. Welcome, Brooks's Bass Corner. I'm Mike Brooks. It's Tuesday. It's live chat here on the channel. This is live chat number 27. If you want to check out any of the other live chats, feel free. They're all here on the videos section of the channel. Alternatively, you can go to the playlist section, and everything here on the channel is broken down into playlists. So if you just want to watch loads of stuff to do with Mark King and Level 42, there's a Level 42 related playlist. If you just want to watch a load of videos about Yamaha basses, there's a section for that. If you just want to look at stuff about Billy Sheehan, there's stuff for that. So it's all nice and tidy, easy for you to watch. If you've just encountered the channel, feel free to hit the subscribe button. Feel free to hit the notification bell. If you wish to give this video a thumbs up, that'd be greatly appreciated. If you want to leave any comments, feel free. If you're watching this video after the live chat, so then the live chat window becomes redundant, you can still communicate, get in touch with me via the comments section. You can get hold of me via the community tab, which is YouTube's social media for us creators here on the channel. You can also contact me via Facebook, Instagram and Twitter. If you want to contribute to the channel, you can do so via Super Chat here in the live chat window, which is the $ at the bottom, or you can contribute via Super Thanks, which is an icon, which is a love heart with a $ underneath every video here on the channel, because every video is monetized. And that's it at the moment for contributing financially. In the new year, we will have merchandise, and there will also be a membership scheme coming your way as well, which will feature content that isn't going to be on the rest of the channel. So that's how you can contribute to the running of the channel at the moment. And we have an array of fine people here contributing to the live chat in terms of messages. Is there a track you have had to learn for a set that you found really tricky? Yeah. Oh yeah. Let me see. Okay, going back to the Bonnie Tyler days, there was a song called Faster Than the Speed of Light, and it had loads of little fills in it and little runs. It's a Jim Steinman song, guy who did Meatloaf. So we're talking rock orchestra kind of thing, and that was really tricky, and I had to learn it from a live tape. I couldn't hear any of the bass, and it was really hard to work it out until we got into a rehearsal room with the band, and that was a bit of a roast. Not dreadfully so, but it was just tricky. You had to concentrate on the little runs and the little fills, and it all had to be as it was. There was no room for mucking about. Tell you one song that really foxes me, and I'm doing it this Friday. So I'm playing with an Oasis and Stone Roses tribute on Friday. Fool's Gold by the Stone Roses really gets my goat, and I'll tell you why. Because the original version has no structure whatsoever. There's no structure to it. You listen to it and you think it's just a groove, but it isn't, because there are some little changes in there. Now the tribute band have a track that goes with it, and they've obviously got their version, and I'm not convinced that it's identical to the original. So then you have to decide which one you go with, and obviously you've got to go with the backing track, but that makes it hard if you're not playing with them regularly and you're not doing a rehearsal. And even with the live recording, it's very hard to get a structure in your head of what is going on that song. Every time I've played it with them, and invariably there's a year or more between each time I play it, I wrote a cheat sheet, and when you look at it, there is no structure to it at all. I've tried to make it structured, and there isn't one, and I've got to do that this Friday. And I said to myself when I got called up for this gig, I'm going to do this bloody song without a cheat sheet this time. And I started running it today, and it's going to be entertaining. But I've got another 2 days. If I can get in my head a structure I can follow faultlessly for that song, then it'll happen. If not, I'm going to have to do a cheat sheet for it again. But this is what happens when you depth for bands and you don't play with them regularly, and they have certain arrangements that are fixed. There's no, you can't deviate. It's the track can come back. So it's got to be what it's going to be. So we'll see. So that's a tricky one. What else? Trying to think bands wise. Actually, one thing that I've found, it's not hard line at all. It's tricky because of the speed we play it, is Feel the Force by The Real Thing. We do it in Disco Inferno, in Uncle Funk's Disco Inferno. And we played it at one tempo and it was great. I thought, oh, loving this. and we've seemed to have upped the BPM of it by quite a bit. It's like really motors along now. But so actually trying to fit the parts in, it's not this difficult, but literally one mistimed note completely throws the riff. And the other night, I think my foot got caught on my cable and just caught my attention, took me away from the riff, and I was like, whoa, took me out of autopilot. And I was like, oh my God, what's, and I'd missed a pass. And because it's all, or the verse part is all pretty much here, it's in that square there with an open E. So and you have to play it in the right order or it doesn't fit. That just caught me out the other night. So it's not really tricky, it's just and we don't do it every gig. So when it's in the set, it's like, right, you need to concentrate on that. Friday was a little wake-up call. So it just caught me out, just one run round. I was like, oh. Trying to think what else. Over the years, there's been a few things that have been a little tricky. In my old covers band that I did for 17 years, we started doing medleys and mashups of more recent sort of pop dance chart material. And sometimes we'd combine like 3 or 4, 2, 3, 4 songs. And some of those, the arrangements were a little, until you got them under your fingers and you played them a bit, some of those could catch you out. And our drummer had a way of creating arrangements that weren't necessarily the same as the record. So until you got the backing track, you didn't really know what you were going to be playing. Teardrops is a bugger for me. I presume you mean Womack and Womack Teardrops, because of the structure. I used to do Everybody's Changing, and that used to catch me out with its changes. Yeah, do you know what? A lot of it is until you do a song and you're constantly playing it night after night after night after night, and it's under your fingers in terms of autopilot. If you just play it occasionally, these songs they catch you out. And I've found, you know, whenever I'm doing a gig, doesn't matter if I'm in the band or not, I'll run sets for days leading up to the gig. I can put hours and hours and hours and hours of practice in, prepping for a gig, and still on the night, something can just not happen. So, you know, and yet I've done other gigs when I've played regularly in bands, done no practice for months, other than doing the gigs, never make a mistake. So, and Billy Sheehan said the same, you know, he said, I can do warm-ups and everything can go dreadfully wrong. And other nights I don't do any warming up and it all goes perfect. So who's to say? Who's to say? Same with you. There you go. Yeah. You only do the best you can do. And even with the greatest prep and greatest will in the world, every gig situation is different. So you don't know what you're going to be faced with. And, you know, what if the weather turns really... What if you're doing an outdoor gig and the weather's nasty, or it gets cold, or it starts raining? And you've got all that to think about and contend with. It's not a job for the faint of heart. Let's be fair. But it is what it is, and we love gigging, so we do it. You know. So that's it. You're getting a load of resonance there, I can tell. Yeah, it doesn't have quite the same impact when it's acoustic. I'm doing some pinched harmonics there, making it scream a bit. Yeah, so here we are. We've been on nearly 2.5 hours. We're getting towards last week's marathon record, which was 3 hours and 20. I'm not sure we'll string this out for 3 hours and 20 this week, but we'll see how we go. Anyway, I'm Mike Brooks. This is Brooks's Bass Corner, live chat number 27, every Tuesday evening from 7 o'clock here in the UK. You're very welcome if you've just stumbled across our weekly bass chat. Cam Voodoo's just posted. In more exciting news, I bought an adjustable bass stand from a Strandberg. Now we're talking. What did you get? Hercules? Or did you buy something else? What did you get? You bought a Fender. Okay. I can't comment because I don't know anything about Fender adjustable bass stands, but I'm sure if it's doing the job, that's what we want. See, this is the thing. YouTube, you've got to make it possible for people to upload photos into the live chat. We need this. It's very hard to comment on things that we can't see. Yeah. So for those of you out there who don't know the rules, if you've got any questions about basses, bass amps, bass speakers, bass effects, bass effect pedals, maintenance gear, tuners, wirelesses, effects units. You want to talk about bass legends. You want to talk about maintenance of your gear. You got any problems with your gear? Is something not working? Something falling to bits? Ask me. Put it in the live chat window. If I know the answer, I'll help you out as much as I can. I will have to make a few vids for my YouTube channel. Yes, you will. Yes, you will. Do that. Do some YouTube shorts. Although some YouTube shorts can take just as long to produce as a long form video, but a YouTube short is 60 seconds or less. So do a couple of those. Do a couple on the acoustic bass. So for anyone who missed the news earlier, I will be doing a series of YouTube short videos through the latter end of November and through December, looking at bass gifts. So gifts for a bass player. So with Christmas coming up, for the whole time I've been a professional musician, you get people saying, oh, what can I get you for Christmas? And what do you need? And it's like, they always ask and your mind goes blank. Well, I'll give you some handy tips and give you some suggestions. So if there's something you suddenly see on one of the videos and you think, I really need that, you can share it with them. You can send them the video and say, I'd really like one of these, or I need some of that spray and cleaner for my guitar. And you can do as you wish with those videos, and hopefully it'll give you some pointers. Might offer a suggestion that you hadn't even thought you needed, but actually you do. So it'll be along the lines of the Xmas gift guide that I did back in 2020, but it'll be individual videos. So none of them will be longer than 60 seconds. Some of them might be half that, we'll see. But they're all things that I think you'll find useful, and I'll give you the positive spin on what they can do for you and your playing and your enjoyment of being a bass player. Yeah, here we go. Here we go. How are we doing? I think we're up to date with the messages, aren't we? So for anyone that was interested in that colour, that was Music Man's version of teal, which is kind of an aqua, greeny blue kind of thing. It looks different on my camera to how you guys are seeing it on the desktop, I guess on the mobile app as well. It looks very different. It looks more blue on there, but there's certainly a bit of green about it. This was always one of my favourite colours, so after I sold my old Stingray, which was X Mark King, and I decided to get another one, I wanted one in that colour with a maple neck. And it works really good with that scratch plate, I have to say. It's like the inside of a shell. Works for me anyway. Makes me happy. Brian Franks, good evening, sir. How are you? Beautiful. What, me or the bass? I'll take it if you know. I'll take those compliments all day. But if you're talking about the bass, then that's cool. Hope you're well, sir. You're more than welcome here on Brooks's Bass Corner. So I'm assuming most of you are eating your dinner because the chat's sort of slowed down a bit here. So what time are we? So we're 25 to 10 here in the UK. So yeah, 25 to 5 East Coast in the US. 25 to 5, 25 to 2 in the afternoon West Coast, I guess. Both. You're too kind. I've got miles on the clock, sir. That's my excuse. I tried the Mark King Fender Jazz Signature the other day, blue with blue LEDs. Did it still smell of Play-Doh? That's my question to you, because all of them smelt like Play-Doh. Something to do with the paint, apparently, when they were first done in late 98, early 99. But they had a reputation for falling to bits, frets falling out, necks bending and going all over the shop. Do you know what number it was? There were only 42, so. There's quite a few people who own them and thought they were going to make a killing on them and make like serious money. But the fact that they just fall to bits, and Mark didn't play them for very long, and their reputation just went, they didn't accrue in value. And you get the occasional person who tries to get onto the level 42 fans and Mark King fans to try and say, oh, it's well worth £5,000. No, it ain't. It really isn't. No, it's only the fact there are only 42 of them that makes it worth it. I didn't notice, but I was not blown away. Thank you. A friend of mine owns one. He's had it years. Just keep hold of it, because you ain't going to make a killing on it yet. Maybe, as and when, I hate to be morbid, but as and when Mark is no longer on this planet, then it'll be worth something. But I think, I mean, you probably get £2,000 from now. Maybe, but they didn't play great. The setup was atrocious. And I've heard various stories of quality control about them when they've turned up on various bass forums over the years. And because the Mark King fan base is so, how can I say, it's very, everyone knows everyone. You know, no one is going to pull the wool over someone's eyes, and the reputation for those basses is not great. So, but invariably, you'll get a chancer who will say, "Oh, it's well worth £5,000." No, it's not. And good luck with trying to get that, because you ain't going to get it. Even if you get Mark to sign it, you ain't getting £5,000 for one of those. But they did have a reputation for smelling of Play-Doh, even years after. Well, here we are, you know, 23 years, and one turned up on one of the level 42 groups on Facebook, I think, and someone was commenting that it's still stank of Play-Doh. Stacey, you're back. So does that mean Mrs. Reynolds has now had her blue rinse? Or is she still under the dryer? And don't forget she's there, because she might frazzle up if you leave her on too long. Actually, see if we were saying about hearing these basses acoustically. See if let me see if my GB Rumour, the white one, comes across as bright as it sounds. Let's just have a little listen. Should do. You guys be the judge. So this has a set of single coils, although it looks like the GB humbuckers. They're not. They're single coils in humbucker housings, but It's the timbre. And the strings are rotor sound rotos, I think. I didn't put them on, Bernie did. Yeah. Lighter gauge, 4000 as well. It's the Berthy bass, isn't it? That's it. Get the old lights on. One day we'll do this plugged in and I'll put the sound to light on. The only thing is, eats the batteries. You can literally get a gig out of it. If you're going to use the sound to light system, you'll get a gig out of a set of batteries. 1 gig. That bass is really nice. It is. It plays great. This is one of Bernie's old demo basses. And yeah, it is. Bought for my 50th a couple of months ago. Thinking of getting a new scratch plate for it. I'll show you the one that came with it. So here's the original plate, although I've never had this on it. This was in the case. So a very old off-white, which don't look too great, frankly. That's fine. That is what it is. And then this is what was on it, which I thought was quite nice. So is that grabbing you? Kind of like a bit of a snakeskin thing. Kind of okay. Oh, sorry, you're getting the light reflection. But our guitarist in Uncle Funk, Bobby Harrison, has just had a new guitar made, and he got this really nice kind of dark red tortoiseshell plate, and then the marking, the figuring, is like a light yellow. Looks stunning. I took a picture, and I've said to him, can you get in touch with the guy that built it and tell me what the order number is, what the item number is for a block of that scratch plate material. And I'll go and buy some, and I'll get a plate made out. It just look great, and white with tortoiseshell. Anyone that's into white jazzes with the tortoiseshell plate, we're talking classic looks here. And I thought I could do one of those. So I love it plain like that. I'd rather not have a plate that I'm suddenly thinking, well, actually it might protect the finish a bit. Because when we're doing Uncle Funk shows and I start digging in on this, it's not going to take long for the old fingers to start going through the paintwork. But there we go. But it's a cracker, truly. So we have LEDs in the headstock as well, and the logo. It's great. Yeah. Look, all those batteries. 4 for the LEDs, 2 for the circuit. So basically you got 2 batteries for the LEDs. You then got 2 batteries running the sound to light. You then got another 2 batteries for the circuit. Craziness. But it's actually pretty light. It's not bad at all. And it's a GB, so it fits great. I can show you, can I? It's got to stand up. So there we go. More noodling. So yeah. I'm just noodling. I do this unless I'm playing properly along with material. I'm no great soloist. Don't claim to be, never have done. I just like hearing how basses sound. I when it comes to playing songs, then it's concentration time when you play it properly. But when it's just acoustically or on my own, I just like to hear how the thing responds, you know. That's the reviewer talking. They all sound different, you see. It's all good. It's all good. Okay, we are heading towards 3 hours. I think maybe we'll start wrapping this up shortly. If you've got any questions, anything you'd like to ask, got any problems with your gear, basses, bass guitars, amps, cabinets, speakers, effects pedals, bass accessories, gig bags. You want to talk about pedal effects, sorting your pedal board out. If you've got anything you'd like to ask about videos you might have seen here on the channel already. If you want to ask anything about any of the reviews, any of the demos, any of the interviews, feel free. It's what I'm here for. If I don't see some messages in the chat window shortly, then we'll start winding this up for this week. And if that is the case, then thank you very much to everyone who has frequented, been part of the live chat. Thank you for your questions and your comments. We'll do this all again next Tuesday at 7 o'clock UK time. You're more than welcome. If you want to be a part of that and you've watched some of tonight, or you're watching it after the event, but you're not actually, you don't actually follow the channel, then by all means hit the subscribe button. The world won't blow up if you hit the subscribe button. Hit the notification bell, and then you'll get notifications when there's a live chat or there's new video content uploaded. And if you enjoy the video, give it a thumbs up. In fact, that applies for any of the videos here on the channel. If you see one of the videos and you really enjoy it, give us a thumbs up. It doesn't cost you anything. It's just a click of the mouse. And the YouTube algorithm loves it. If it sees that people enjoy the videos, likes the content, it just keeps moving the ball forward. So that's kind of what we do. So if you're watching this after the event, obviously the live chat window becomes inoperable. You can't contribute via that, but you can via the comment section below. So if you send a comment, I'll read it as soon as I get a notification. And if you ask me something, I'll be replying to it. So that's no problem. Follow on Facebook, Instagram and Twitter. And what else do I need to tell you? That's pretty much it. So on that note, because I'm not seeing much activity on the live chat now at the moment, I'm guessing everyone's eating their pie and chips, eh? I assume you ate that before you came on the live chat. On that note, I will bid you all a good night. Have a great rest of what's left of Tuesday, wherever you are in the world. I'm out on a couple of gigs this weekend. There might be an impromptu live chat. We don't know. It will be based on what the Wi-Fi signal is like wherever I am. If we cross paths, great stuff. If not, I'll give you a rundown on what happened at the gigs next week. And there will be new YouTube shorts going up every day this week. And there should be some long form content. It's all here ready to go. I've just got to do the self-promotion, and it all takes time. That's why there hasn't been much long form content of late. But the next couple of episodes of the bass string experiment will be up very, very shortly. That bass is really nice. Good night. See you later. Thank you, Cam Voodoo. So hopefully see you next week. Thank you for coming and visiting. Great stuff. So on that note, much like that, gentlemen, I'll bid you farewell. Have a great evening. Enjoy what's left of Tuesday, wherever you are. Be safe. Look after yourselves, and I'll see you next Tuesday. If you've got anything you need to get in touch about, want to comment on any videos, feel free, and I'll come back to you as soon as I see your message. Take it easy. See you soon.